Hi everybody, welcome to the stream. This is London Calling live stream. We've got Nathaniel in the chat. Hi Nathaniel, welcome to the stream, my friend. And Doc Sampson as well. Titanium J, good to have you there, mate. It's great to have you. This is part 3 of an ATAT build we're doing, but we'll look at that in just a tick, and I'll give you an update as to where we are on that, and then I'll do a little bit of building. But anyway, like all these things that's London Bridge Bricks, it's just another brick in the wall as far as the Lego community is concerned, and today's all about the community and everything like that, which is why I've got some super guests on with us today. So I'm going to go clockwise around the screen, introduce you to, first up from track 1 is Titanium J52.
Hello everybody.
Hi Titanium, welcome along, mate. Great to have you here. Next up, and first time has been on our channel actually, we have Coconut Brick Studios.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for having me on.
That's right, mate. It's great to have you here. Really appreciate it. Thank you. And last of all, but by no means least, Doc Sampson.
Yes, first time caller, long time listener. I had to throw that in.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great to have you here, mate. It's brilliant. And you know, like I always say to everyone, we're very much community spirited here. So we're people in the chat. If people want to sub to each other, please feel free to throw us loads of questions as well. You know, it's you can talk to us about Mario stuff, Hidden Side stuff, Star Wars, and maybe what you think about those new Star Wars helmets that are out now, and your thoughts on those. Do you think they're too expensive? Do you think they're good? And why do you think they're possibly aimed at 18-year-olds when really probably anyone can program? And also as well, you can talk about what's happening in your neck of the woods as far as the world concerned and all this COVID-19 and Corona stuff. So please throw any questions at us. We've got a whole bunch of peeps with us today, so it'd be nice and interactive. Keep it all nicely flowing and stuff like that. And in and around all that, you know, we'll talk about all sorts of things like life, love, and Lego and all that good stuff. So yeah, we got just looking at the chat, we got Nathaniel. Thanks, Nathaniel. I think you've been here waiting for a little while, so it's great to have you here, mate. We've got Winterbricker. Winterbricker, great to have you here. Great to have you here. It's
Rogue Transformations, it looks like.
Yeah, we have. We're from all over the show in a good way. Rogue Transformation, welcome along, my friend. It's great to have you here. And John Wee, I think that's pronounced.
John Y.
John Y. Okay, it's got silent E. Good stuff. Thank you, chat. So yeah, welcome to the stream. Like I say, throw us any questions that you want to. Like Doc was saying, we're kind of covering all bases for around the world at the moment. We've got ourselves sort of central. We haven't got anyone from the East Coast here. We've got a couple of peeps. I think Doc and Coconut, you guys are from West Coast, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Brilliant.
The only coast. That's all I got to say.
And we got. I won't beg to differ, mate. We got Titanium J in as well. And Titanium, you're East Coast, aren't you? Or are you mid?
I'm Central.
You're Central.
Midwest.
I say you got so many time zones in your country. I think actually, Doc, haven't you got the most time zones? Isn't America so vast and wide that you've got the most time zones than any other?
We have 4. Well, technically 5 because we got Alaska and Hawaii, and you know.
Why are Alaska and Hawaii separate?
Yeah, because they're not. Well, they're just the distance.
Yeah, like aren't they each separate?
Yeah, I think they might be. They might be. Yeah. I'm not sure.
I think so too.
I mean, because one of it they might share because there's Alaska itself has 2 time zones. There's Aleutian time and the other time zone. I can't remember what they call it.
I was speaking to someone yesterday from America, and they said that they're in Moscow time. Is that right?
Yeah, if you're like on the end of the Aleutian Islands or whatever, you could be in that other time zone. It's because you remember what Governor what's her name said? I can see Russia from my house, but technically you can see Kamchatka. You can't see Russia. You got to see through Russia, and you got to see what Kamchatka. And then there's Uzbekistan or something, and then you come to Russia. So it's not like, you can see Russia from Alaska or anything like that. That lady was crazy, but
Yeah, that is a serious amount of time zones that you boys and girls have got over there. We've got Triple Brick in the house, and great to have you here. Chef T is here as well. Chef T, great to have you here, mate. It's we've got a nice full house. We've got 10 working at the moment. That's great. And so what I'll give you an update. I'll give you an update as to where I am. I was joking with Doc earlier on in the Hive stream saying that I built about 12 legs. I haven't really up built 4. Even that was quite epic. So here we go. There's one leg. They're practically the same, if I'm honest. Leg number 1. Leg number 2. Actually, if I put myself on I'll hog the screen just for a tick. There we go. So if I bring you down, you can see them all together. Doc was he wasn't believing me earlier on when I was showing him 12. I was just bending down and just picking up the same leg.
He's going, look, I bet 4. I'm like, you did not. You did not.
You know, if it was the 1970s, Doc, that would have been classed as a magic trick. That would have been. Those were the days. So there we go. So we got 6. And just to prove that I can build an AT-AT, here's one I built earlier on. Look at that.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So this particular one is done by a guy called Raskolnikov. Let me just get a picture of it.
And those legs don't matter if you put them on right side, left side, front, back, don't matter.
I think the way I'm seeing it, it's going to be something like that. There is a way around for it. There's 2 that go in one direction. It's the darker, this one here, this, I don't know what they call it. It's like a banjo. The darker one is the one that faces the outside. So there we go. If I do that, they'll kind of look like this. And for the guys and girls out there that are watching, just to put this into some perspective of what it looks like, I'll get you the most recent AT-AT looky liking with this. It's an M16 something or other, but look, you can see there that the legs are pretty much the same height as this. So it's going to be like this, but I don't know, double the size, maybe a third bigger, something like that. But yeah, so I've got a squadron of figures to put in it as well. I've got my general viewers, and just so you see what it kind of looks like when it's done. If all goes well today on the stream, and we'll be on for a couple of hours, I should be building this part today, and that gets me to about the halfway point, Doc. That will. And then, but probably in about 2 years' time, I'm going to be streaming every night if I can. That's going to be the end goal there. That big bad boy. Or I'll either stream it all week, or I'll stream it over a couple of weeks. I think it's good enough. Good enough to get away with that. And the reason I wanted to do it as well, if anyone's wondering, I wanted to do it because this year is the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
I think it's a great movie as well. I love it, and we got to get these as well. We got ourselves the Snow Trooper, which is arguably one of my favourite ones. All pretty cool, except for the angry clone face. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Of course, having a mixture of people on means we're all going to be doing a mixture of different things. So, Titanium, what are you going to be up to, my friend?
Currently, I am dismantling this set.
Dismantling?
So that I can store it.
Oh, okay.
And one day, when I have more room, I will rebuild it.
So you know what this mother thing that they're talking about in the chat? So excited to see some progress videos on Mother.
Yeah, what's
Mother takes a lot of bricks, still acquiring.
This is my other thing. So excited to see some progress videos on Mother. Yeah, this is some sort of new game out there or something, isn't it?
I don't know. One person just spelled it like Mother, and then another one spelled it like M.O.T. So like each word means something, like massive online tank hitting every rail. I don't know. I'm just
This is how we spell mother in London.
Oh, apparently RT is building Mother. It's freaking awesome, says Trickerbrick. But we still don't know what this Mother is.
Well, it is Mother's Day, so it's Mother's Day here in England. Anyway, is it Mother's Day where you are?
No, not that I know of.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's what it is here. So yeah, we'll crack on. But like I say, everyone, throw us some questions. We've got a diverse group with us. Coconut bricks. You've actually got a whole bundle of bricks there. What sort of stuff are you going to be doing?
Yeah, so unfortunately, my side of the stream's not going to be as exciting as yours. I'm just sorting out. I need to make room for my next mock, and so I'm sorting out all the green pieces that I had from the boo, and kind of trying to get them dispersed throughout these bins and in this drawer. That way, once I get all of my pieces in for my next mock, I'll have plenty of space to work with, because I've basically had green bricks just everywhere.
That sounds really cool, man. What was that mock? What was that mock part of, actually? And also, while you're there, how do you sort yours? Do you sort yours by color, because that's a lot of green, or do you do it by type?
So it depends on the amount of piece I have. If it's a part that I know I'm going to have a lot of, I typically do it by color. Like, for example, I had a ton of these 2x4 green bricks, and so I sort them just by color. It's a piece I don't have a lot of, like some rare tile or some weird looking piece. I'll do it just by the piece type. It really just depends on the quantity I have, and if I plan on getting more of that piece, then I'll designate more space for it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's really good. And like, you've got yourself quite a lot of bricks there by the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, for this, the mock and the boo, it had about 15,000 pieces. So it's a big one.
That's very, very smart. I'm enjoying that. Okay, good stuff. Okay, Doc.
Is Moto here? What?
Oh,
I'm just hanging out. I'm just hanging out. That's all I'm doing.
Pass. Yeah, my friend. Doc, it's good to have you here, mate. Obviously, Doc does a recently. What was it, last week, wasn't it? Because last week seems like ages ago.
I know. Doesn't it look beautiful back there?
I know, we built the ISS. Let me. I've got to put that on full screen, my friend, because mine's downstairs in the lounge. But yeah, if anyone wants to see a really, really good stream with some great, Lego YouTubers in it, including Trick or Brick, who's got a brilliant Bricklink channel.
Bricklink store too.
Bricklink store, sorry, yeah. Everything's a channel or a website, as far as I'm concerned. If it falls out of that, I'm in trouble. But don't forget to support your Bricklink stores, everybody. But yeah, the ISS build. It looks like you've done something like what Tesla would do, and they're throwing a car out into space over there, mate.
Well, I got the Ferrari and the Nissan GTX over there. They're hanging out. Yeah. And then that safari truck is behind it, because I couldn't get rid of my cars, garage land and all that. So I'm just kind of like, well, space station, you're just going to have to float above the cars.
Yeah, very good, my friend. So anyway, so the fun doesn't stop there. We've got ourselves another person as well waiting patiently in the green room. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, I give you Moto.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, still building, I see.
Look at this.
Oh,
wow,
tweaking.
Look at this, everybody. So
yeah, you caught me a little off guard. As soon as I pop this piece back in, I will be able to show you more.
Oh, okay. We'll come back.
I was about to make an adjustment. Yeah, I have a spaceship over there.
We seem to do this thing. I seem to have this superpower whereby I always seem to catch Moto slightly off guard or arrive too early.
Like I'm like, okay, I have a break. I'm gonna do the complex change out, and then boom, I'm on the screen.
That's it.
So yeah, that's by the way, that is a common reaction. What is that? Exactly. So I build fantastical, weird, sci-fi space stuff, and I will.
Yeah, I had to double check. May 10th, Greg. May 10th is Mother's Day.
Oh, is it? Oh, that happens to be that's the day of my birthday, Doc, and that's when I'll be getting Voltron.
Oh, okay. So I can schedule it, is what you're saying.
Indeedy. So Moto, just before we look at your mock, just so everybody knows, Doc Sampson and I, aka Khan, we're going to be live streaming. I don't know if we're going to do it over two. It's going to be 2 streams, isn't it? 'Cause it's quite a big set. We might do it over 2 days. We might do it in 1 day in 2 sections or something like that. Anyway, what we will be doing is not only building a fantastic set in the form of the Lego Ideas Voltron set, we're also going to be doing it over a couple of sections, and we're going to be kind of sharing it out. But we had the artwork that was used was for a guy. The guy actually drew it for me last Friday, Mr. Hinkle Draws, and he's done a brilliant picture for us. And if I can, I'll bring it up a little bit later. Oh,
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen. See if you can see
here
it.
we go now. I will bring it on screen. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. And there we go, everyone. That is, yeah. So that's going to be Doc Sampson's thumbnail, and then I'll do something using that picture as well. It does look good. I think like your font, Doc. What font is that?
Show card something.
Yeah, I like it, man. It's brilliant. So anyway, so Kevin, just so everybody knows, Mr. Hinkle does a live stream every Friday. UK time is about 1:30 in the afternoon. Do check him out. And you literally go on there. There'll be about 20, 25 people or so on there watching him draw. He's a doodle drawer. And yeah, his art is fantastic. So do check him out. And he does
make suggestions. That's how we got that Voltron. Greg suggested it. And voila, there it is.
And then we thought, that's our thumbnail sorted. So that's great. So yeah. So anyway, as promised, let's take a little look and see what Moto's up to.
Am I repeating myself? Is there anybody who's really interested?
Yeah,
there are new people that haven't seen it, and the progress.
Oh.
We always want to check out the progress. I mean,
Okay. So for the last week, I challenged myself to build something within a week time frame. It was a spaceship using some of the same style and techniques I used before, but I've got this kind of nice split body going down, using the dots for color highlights, keeping it relatively clean, a little bit of bionicle blade work going on there. I'll give you more detail on the capsule up front, but it's just suspended off of some clear rods. I started with very detailed engines, wing transitions. Everybody likes basketball nets whenever I use them, so I always try to throw them on there.
Oh, okay. Now I see them. I didn't even notice that they were basketball nets.
Yeah, so there's basketball nets. And of course, I like the Y-wings shout out in there. But yeah, I built. So the engines are a different technique than using studs. They're just using all the clips and the bar elements throughout the system to kind of make a radial design. I've got an alien pod in there as the energy source, a little bit of flames, and then some detailed, tricky little techniques going on there. Little syringe, some other stuff. And then I used a lot of the robot hands as structural elements to clip everything together. Also trying to use the new dot elements, the new dot tile elements to give it a lot of color and pop. And then using the Jurassic Park sphere, translucent sphere as the cabin. So I have my medieval space knight in there. I've got the green mech dragon displays on the side. The sticker element with the blue. A lot of bar stuff in there. A little bit of magical flair. And then the stand I knocked out in maybe a day and a half. But I use red just for Apollo mission kind of stuff as a reference point. And that's why I also build white spaceships. There's starting points, NASA white is a good thing. And then there's my classic space bricks, vintage bricks as a shout out.
Yeah, I think it looks cool.
Technic, lots of, and then I go with like a lot of studs to give it a more industrial look with all the studs showing in contrast to the smooth stuff of the ship. A couple bits in some of the building techniques that go into this stuff. And then I have a tiny art director at home who said I need an elevator because there are no stairs. So I kind of have a lift, as you guys would call it, going on there.
Yeah.
And then starting yesterday and finishing today around 10, my time, I threw together this gigantic video, I don't know what kind of dish it is, energy shield generator. I don't know what to call it right now, but I just put it together, trying to use all the cool pieces I had at my disposal, just trying to throw them all into one build very quickly to come up with something that looked really neat. So I like using really cool parts, kind of things that would stand out and be a highlight, just mashing them all together very quickly. And there's your British teapot being used as a structural element.
Yeah, Lego the Maniac spotted that yesterday, actually.
Yeah,
that was a good spot.
Those were in the they were in the Lego store for making your own minifigs, and the store that's near me, about 15 minutes away, they let you take 15 pieces, no matter what they are. So if you just want to take accessories, you can take accessories. And I thought these would be a great way to clip into something at an angle, so I did that here. So some vintagey parts, and then I like to use, there's General Grievous's printed dish, there's the Jurassic Park printed dish, and then I like to use a lot of metallics where I can. These new domes, the sparkly domes, are relatively new. The snowflake type elements with bars, and then I put the minifig skate blades on there because of reasons. And in this one, we had a sorting party at Bricks and Minifigs. And this is a very, very old ancient chrome piece that's really hard to find. But I went ahead and used that right at the tip, and then the Rock Raiders chrome drill on the back. And then I like to put in feathered elements whenever I can, little wings. Very 1930s sci-fi type stuff. So that's kind of what's going on. I'm about to adjust this so this thing points more vertically.
Yeah.
And then I'll be done with that, and I'll move on to my next build off the transit. Probably on this stream, I'm not going to be building as much as transitioning my storage crates in and out to get ready for the next thing I'm going to do.
Oh, sweet. Are you able to show us the your party trick that you've got with that as well?
Which trick?
The party trick whereby it kind of glows.
Oh, yeah, I've got the black light right here. Sure. Yeah, let me back this up.
Yeah, check this out, folks. You ain't seen nothing yet.
So the thing with trans neon elements, orange and green, and the glow-in-the-dark whites, is they fluoresce under UV light. So I have this super high-powered UV light here, and let me turn that on.
Hey, Moto.
Yeah.
Lego Lamediac wants to know, is the nozzle of the teapot actually clutching into the slope or just sort of loosely supporting it?
It's not clipped in at all.
So
I'm
it's
using
just
the
kind of
bottom
loose.
stud. Yeah, losing the bottom stud, top stud, and then the handlebar bar. And then I just hinted at a connection by making it touch.
Okay.
But no, it's not structural at all. At least I haven't figured out, but if someone else wants to give it a go, that would be super cool. And let's go around to, let me unplug this and go around here. So yeah, I've ordered more of the 2 large neon green panels to replace the gray ones. But you can see it's kind of like an undersea creature, Aquaman vibe going on when you turn on the black light. And there's a glow in the dark white element. And then over here, all the energy sources that you'd expect are just pop knockouts with glow elements on them. Oh yeah, even the ray gun tip. I forgot I did that. And also there's a bright green versus the normal green. The bright green will glow as well. That's what these fins on the back are here. So just try to. Ooh, I made a mistake. Look at that. I made a mistake. Right there. I did 2 glow-in-the-dark neon instead of the yellow neon yellow.
Bad AFO.
Oh, I'm glad I did in front of you guys so I can fix it before it goes to the show.
Well, that's what we hear. We're all about quality.
You guys are my quality control.
Yeah.
Yeah, which one was it? It was this guy.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
So there you go. That's my show and tell.
That is brilliant. Fantastic. And what show are you hoping to take that to?
I've never been outside of Denver. This will be my first time going to a show outside Denver. It'll be Brickworld Chicago if it stays on.
When's that due, mate?
Brickworld Chicago. It's the largest one in the U.S.
Oh, wow. And when is the show due?
It's our Father's Day. It's in June.
Ah, okay.
At this point, I think we're at risk of having it being canceled, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think we'll certainly know in the next 4 weeks or so whether or not things are going to be cancelled in June, I guess.
Yeah, if we handle this thing correctly, I could see it being on, but right now I have doubts.
And Rogue Transformation's wandering away, and then Lego Maniac. He says, "Wow, I wish I had a black light to light up all my trans green crystals, but I am worried about the other stuff I might discover." ...
Oh boy, yeah, I'm not even going to talk about the forensics of Lego there. I can't touch that.
That is a thing.
But yeah, just kind of 1 week and a little bit of extra half day, and I did this belt here to see kind of if I've gotten faster by learning different techniques over time than I have. Yeah, what normally would have taken probably 120, 150 hours, I got down in a week. And then if you guys are interested in storage stuff, I could go into that as well as I transition this stuff in and out of the garage or the basement.
Yeah, if you want to go into, we'll talk about anything. Mate. This is what the show's all about. We'll be talking to people in the chat. Lego Maniac says, I wish I had that black light as well. We should stop. Trickle says, I'll likely not happen the way things have been going. Yeah, you fingers crossed, Trickle Brick. Fingers crossed, my friend. Winterbricker says, ugh.
Yeah, exactly. Ew.
Trickle Brick says, everyone suddenly has a lot of time on their hands for building Lego. We certainly do.
Oh, yes. No kidding. No kidding.
That's certainly a positive out of all this that's going on at the moment. That's for sure.
Yeah, I expect that the amount of builds that are going to come out during this time is going to be ridiculous. We're going to see so much crazy good, technical, non-technical, just volume of stuff being shared, which is always nice. And then I think someone's running a virtual, they're calling it not like an event, but a virtual event where you're supposed to like take little videos, 1-minute videos of your builds, and then they're going to splice them all together.
Oh, really? What's all that about?
It was on Facebook, and I'm sorry, I just kind of scrolled right past it, but I might have to go back and just take a look at what it is.
Well, I mean, these sort of moments, these are sort of good times for the community to sort of get together and, check out and see what's going on.
I noticed Boone from Boone Belts. He has a weekly challenge for someone to make a vehicle. It can be a car, a plane, a spaceship, anything. And then if you finish by Tuesday, you just send a photo into him, and he's going to try to, do little fun things with the different submissions he gets.
Okay.
I'm going to send him my spaceship, but I honestly started way before he announced the challenge on Thursday or Friday.
Oh, that's cool. Is that Boone as in the guy that does Lego Masters?
He's part of the Bearded Builders team on Lego Masters US. He's the guy that sings.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, he's been a YouTuber for a really long time. He's known on the YouTube community. But yeah, it's Boone, Boone, Belts, Builds.
Oh, now here's an interesting thing, Doc. Trickle Brick says, my sales have ramped up due to a number of things. 1, Lego stores closed. 2, everyone's home with nothing to do. And 3, everyone's anticipating that COVID-19 pounds from the government. Yeah, that's good. It's a good point, and I guess for you, Trickle Brick, it's a good side effect from all this happening on. Trapjaw's in the house. Hey, Trapjaw, welcome along, my friend. Great to have you here.
So I'm about to transition out some stuff. Hi there. Hi, world. This is what I look like. I use 60. So I have a lot of Lego. Well, a lot's relative. I have about 300 to 400 pounds of Lego that I use for my mocking that I've sorted over the years, and I'm kind of done collecting, just kind of using as I need to. I have a whole Google Slides presentation on how I sort, how I buy, how I store, but mine's decidedly low tech. So if anybody's not an AFOL, or it's just a parent who's trying to figure out how to get stuff sorted once it gets to a certain size, the cheapest way is I use good old gallon Ziploc bags and quart Ziploc bags. And then I put them in these big 66 quart Sterling containers. I can stack them about 5 high, so I can get, I don't know how many that is. What was that? 300 plus quarts of Lego into a footprint that's only, this big. But because I build with white's my most popular color, I do things like I've got a gallon bag of plates. These are 2x plates that go up to 6. So anything that is 2x2 up to 2x6 has its own quart container. I like to unzip it, and then I roll it, crush it, squeeze all the air out, and then I put it in, and I keep squeezing the air out so that it just sits in there really dense-like. If you're getting started, if you're ever sorting brick, the little stuff is what's going to get you hung up on a lot of time spent. So I call this my Grebo bag. It's all of the teeny little pieces that, just would take forever to sort through. And I just throw it in a bag, and every once in a while, I like these bags because you can tumble them and kind of shake them and sort of turn them around, and you can find that one cool little piece that you've forgotten about, reach in, grab it, put it in place, move on. But yeah, I start by type. I do it by type. Half of it by type, like wheel elements, vehicle elements, animals, fig stuff, fig accessories, anything translucent, anything with a sticker or print on it gets set aside. And then for the major categories of color, I put it into a color category, and then from there, I break it into things like all my plates go into a bag, all my tiles go into a bag, all the standard brick goes into a bag, all the slopes go into a bag. And so from there, as long as you can look inside the clear bag and find the element relatively quickly and it's not getting lost, then there's no reason to subdivide. And I just go from there. Otherwise, I'd be spending all my days sorting rather than building. That's kind of how I commit to stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
It's quite a good way of segmenting them as well, doing it that way.
Yeah, and then for things I use a lot of, like red Technic. This is all Technic lift arms in here, because I do Technic structures in white and red. So for those specialized categories, I kind of have these all set aside. And then what I'll do is I used to build at a playground every weekend. But my son, he likes to go to the playground and skate park combo, and he'd do that from noon to about 6 p.m. And I found that it's really cool to just, if you have bags, if you know you're going to be building a certain thing, I can load up 2 of these containers with all the things I think I would need for what I'm doing currently. I put them in the trunk of the car. I go to the playground, and I can sit there on the park bench and just spend 6 straight hours, building.
Right.
And as you build something cool too, parents and kids stop by, they talk to you, they're interested in kind of what you're doing. And a lot of people until Lego Masters arrived, a lot of people hadn't had contact with with AFOLs doing, really complex, cool stuff with Lego.
Yeah.
But at a playground, they kind of get an idea that, I can actually build stuff next to my kids, or we can build things together. So it's just a way of sharing.
Talking of Lego Masters, then, Doc, you watch Lego Masters, don't you?
I did until last Thursday when my cable decided, hey, Lego Masters is not in your cable package.
Oh no!
Even though it is in your cable package, I could watch it on the TV, but I couldn't watch it electronically, so I couldn't finish the stream.
Yeah. Have you tried? I watched it on the Fox mobile app.
Yeah, that's the the app that was trying to tell me this is not part of your cable package. I'm like, really? We should have seen it last week or the week before that. It worked perfectly on the electronic side, but I couldn't get it to come on the cable box on the TV. the screen was black and it says this channel is not not available, and it's just kind of like that's just Q13. That's a channel that's been in Seattle for as long as I've ever lived in Seattle. How can it not be available?
Yeah, that stinks.
It's a local station. I could drive to the place and knock on the door. It's like I know they're broadcasting.
Yeah,
that is horrible. That's too bad.
So I was going to ask you if you can give us an update as to what's happening with it, but I guess you can't.
Oh, I can, if you guys want to know. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. So first of all, look in the. If anybody doesn't want spoilers for Lego Masters US, you better, put something in the comments.
Put a banner up that says
Just
Lego Masters spoilers.
Yeah, type or put something in there so no one gets something that they don't want to know.
Oh, okay. That means I've got to make a banner. Spare me a sec.
Are there any comments of someone saying stop, don't?
No.
Okay. So, how caught up are you on the US version?
Well, I haven't watched. I've watched one episode of it because being in the UK, we don't get it.
Okay, so you haven't heard about any of them?
I've heard of one or two of them. The last one I saw was the one where they constructed a city and then they had to construct something that made it look like it was being destroyed by something or other.
Okay, yeah, the big city challenge. So after that, Doc, it was the bridge. Wasn't that the next one?
Yeah.
So they're following the same challenges that were in Australia as a pattern right now. It's going to break from that coming up shortly, but the next episode on this week and the previous ones are all challenges that were in Australia. So my favorite episode was the next one, which was a bridge building challenge. They had a 6-foot US span, so roughly a little shy of 2 meters. And they had to build a bridge that would be strong, and the most strong bridge would be the winner. Oh no, I'm sorry. They had to build Pinewood Derby cars, or the equivalents out of Lego.
Oh, okay.
And so they had those. They raced them, and then each team, the team that came first with the Pinewood Derby car, when the clock was going, they could start building right away. And for each subsequent team position, they lost what was it, Doc? 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes. So it's 25 minutes for the last team.
Yeah, 25 minutes for the last team. They started designing and constructing their bridges, and then, at the end of the so they gave them less time than Australia. They had 250 pounds. I'm trying to think about how much weight they had out on the floor.
I'd like to show off. That was the part that got me, because I'm like, now that you tell me that they're copying the Australian show, I'm just kind of like, the Australian show had plenty of weight on hand. They didn't have the issue that the American show.
No, so this is where the American one got awesome. They, the first bridge held up to, I think they had 600 pounds of weight, or 500. They got to 450, 460, something like that, and then it collapsed. The next team got to 100 plus, and it collapsed. The third team had a non-technic brick built structure with plates, doing the snot bricks, laminating and locking them together. They put all the weight on. They ran out of weight. They had to do it. Well, they did a quick cut, but in reality, they had to stop the entire production.
Oh, wow.
The camera crew had to use their shot bags from their light elements and their camera elements. They then started up again. They put the shot bags on. They had to stop. They ran out of those, so they had to stop again. In reality, they stopped the production. They had to go find these weird paver things. And when they cut back, they had replaced all of the metal weights with the pavers. And then they got it up to 1,000 pounds before they said, that's our safety limit, we're done. So they had a bridge that hit 1,000 pounds.
And didn't even make a creaking sound at all.
Oh, it didn't crack at all. There was no creak or anything. It just sat there. It was amazing.
It just yawned. It was like, whatever.
It was, so that blew my mind. And of course, what was really great is all the teams, as these guys loaded this thing up, when they hit 1,000 pounds, all the teams were freaking out. They're jumping, they're dancing around, they're spinning in circles and screaming. So everybody was just loving it. And then, Doc, I forget, there was one that went to another 100 plus, and then there was the weakest one, which was what, 25?
Yeah, yeah.
And then they had the last bridge, which was the Technic one. And that one, they loaded that one to 1,000 pounds again, and everybody flipped out.
Yeah, but that one made all kinds of creaking noises, though, as it approached 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, it had a slight split on the side, too. At that point, they said, okay, it's not the one that supports the most weight. We're going to judge it on aesthetics. And then the Technic Bridge was first place, and they got the golden brick, which gave them immunity.
Oh, so they actually got a prize this week then?
So they had a golden brick. They had the immunity brick up, yeah, as part of the challenge that last week.
Oh,
and one team was unable to meet the road base height for their bridge, so they were in the bottom two. And then they didn't complete some of the structures, so they were thrown off the show, which was sad.
Right, and that was Iceberg and BX.
Yeah, Iceberg and BX went home. So that was one YouTube team that hit the bricks, or hit the street.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one was a storybook challenge. They brought in a bunch of kids, and they did a Mad Libs story where, the story was there, but there was blanks, and the kids threw in, ridiculous things that the builders had to make part of their story of. So then all the teams were building to the same story, but they had to interpret it in their own way. They all went to town, and then as they're getting 5 minutes from finishing, they did another twist where they added another page of narrative that they had to build in.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of teams who had kind of constructed a solid narrative had to figure out how to add another twist and add or subtract or change their build to accommodate it. And then the kids came back, talked about it. They had a guest host lady. And
I didn't even recognize her.
I don't watch reality TV or TV for that much, so I didn't recognize her. But I guess she does a very successful reality TV show host. And they went through and judged all the teams, and then Tricky Bricks, or Flynn and Richard were let go from the team at that point.
So was it just on aesthetics this time? Did anybody technically fail the challenge? They didn't complete or anything?
No, actually, all the builds were extremely good. So we're at the point where nothing is awful, and nothing is even average, and nothing is even below good.
Yep.
We're getting to the point where it's kind of like you're walking around the convention floor trying to pick the best from the nominations. That's the level of building that's going into this thing. Overall, I think it was just, all the builds would have been great at a convention. No one would say that they're bad, or, they would be, they'd be nominated and be fantastic. But the judges now have to get in there and start picking apart just the most fine-grained little flaws on scale, or layout, or tone, or narrative. So we're down to the point where it's the little teeny stuff that gets you sent home.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd have to say, I'd say I think, even by the city challenge, that was kind of the thing, isn't it? Right? It's like they're all good. They're all fantastic builds. It's just you got to parse apart what's spectacular from what's
right. Well, that was why, like last week with the bridges, I thought Tyler and Amy's, the brick built bridge, I thought it looked better aesthetically too, because they had the vines that could go, that were able to go on the side, because they had the snot technique, so they could build decorations on all sides of their bridge. Plus, their bridge didn't even make a twitching or whatever. And then Iceberg and them left because technically they weren't able to complete the challenge. Just like the week before, there was an incomplete. They left too, and so now it's just kind of like the judge, it's just all on the judge's taste. And the show hasn't gone on long enough, and the judge has been there long enough for people to go, okay, Joe Bob is always picky about this, and the lady judge always wants that. Because, Richard and Flynn's, their characters are always fantastic. And so it's just kind of, especially because I didn't see what the final builds looked like to hear that they left. It was just like, and everybody completed. So
yeah, once again, Boone and the newlyweds, their characterization, that's what they're strong at.
Yeah, did you see that on the Instagram or whatever it was? They was it Tyler and Amy or the frat boys? They put a tiny little Legor in there.
It was the Superman and Clark Kent guys, the bros.
Okay, the frat bros.
That wasn't the only one. They had multiple references in there. They had a telescope to reflect on Amy and Tyler's belt. They had a clock for Flynn and Richard. They had a Legor with space nips in there. So every team had a little bit of a reference in there, not just one. It was really cool. But yeah, in the end, I think like Boone's layout had kind of an empty space, and they got creamed on that. They got hammered on that. I have to say, of all the bridges, I did like Boone's better, simply because it was very Art Deco, and it was very modern and very intentional. To make Technic look that streamlined and clean is really tough. Whereas Tyler and Amy, they kind of started out one way, and then they had to change, and they sheeted it up, and they did drape it correctly, but it was kind of like a flat surface with treatments rather than the entire structure being just gorgeous.
Because it just reminded me of an old style stone bridge,
It did look like that, but I think, if I was looking at it from if I were a judge, I'd say, making Technic look aesthetically pleasing as a structure as a whole, and to call it an Art Nouveau look and get the color details in, and clean it up, that is a much more difficult challenge than dressing, a stonework side.
Yeah.
That's where I think they were coming from, or that's my guess. I don't know for sure, but also I think a lot of the contestants who were there said the Bearded Builders bridge did not photograph well, but it did in person. It was pretty spectacular.
Oh, okay.
Well, plus even Tyler and Amy even said, "Hey, their bridge did look better in person than on the show." I mean, which is gracious. That's a gracious thing to say, right?
Yeah. Well, they weren't leaving. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah. But it was hard to have a miscalculation where the roadbed wasn't there, so you're in the bottom two, and then, I think it was two of the supports weren't completed.
Yeah.
And the mix of colors, and then it just kind of went down from there. It's rough, man. It's rough to see these talented builders now, because there's no one where it's like, you can't sit here as an AFOL and go, "Oh, I could do that," or "No, I could do better than that."
Yeah, no.
Whereas some of the teams like, "I could do better than that," they're going home. But now it's kind of like, I don't think I could do as good as that, and they're getting sent home. Yeah, it's like these guys built better than me, and they're sitting packing. This is getting rough.
So who was in the bottom two with Richard and Flynn?
It was Richard and Flynn, and it was the Bros. The Bros.
No way.
So technically they did a really good job at building in things, but what's always been their weakness is their narrative and their storytelling. It didn't have that childlike imagination that you normally find with Lego.
All right.
Yeah,
I mean?
I found that when from what I know about Lego, the judges, I thought they were quite harsh on the female team that was in it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were quite tough on those, and I don't know. You really got to try and get in their mind to work out what it is they actually want.
Yeah. But that was where the judges know your level of expertise, and if you don't meet the level that they expect you to meet, then they're just like, "You're out of here. You're gone. You didn't try." Is basically what they're saying. Next.
Also, Aaron and his partner built very literally. They're very good at representing stuff. But for a fairy tale storybook, they wanted something that was very childlike and imaginative and very silly. They have that sense of wonder.
Yeah, and theirs was all like a logical story.
It was a very logical narrative. It did get a bit cluttered. There was a lot of little elements kind of packed in there rather than you have this like streamlined build from Tyler and Amy where it's like these large scale figures kind of interacting in a scene. So I think certain builder styles will serve them very well in certain conditions. Like I just know Mark and Boone, or I know Mark, and I was like, these guys are going to destroy the bridge challenge. I just knew going in, like, you know, I knew Mark and Boone were very much Technic builders. I know Mark has done some amazing Technic-based stuff before, and yeah. Although if you look at the cosplay ladies, they did a great job, and I knew Amy was really rooting for them to succeed.
Yeah,
and she really did. She had to. Everybody was crying. I mean, even the judge kind of. You saw her. You know, she was tearing up and had to wipe away some tears when she made the call.
Yeah. I'd be interested to know what people in the chat think about Lego Masters. I guess
anyway.
European people can't really see it, at least not officially anyway. But I mean, from it is quite different to the UK version. The UK version.
I would say the production quality is amazing compared to what I've seen on the other shows. I mean, the budget they threw at this thing is incredible.
I love it when they animate the builds. That's the fun.
They do CG animation, they do stop motion animation. It's amazing.
They literally bring it to life.
Yes.
Yes, so some of the builds they handed off to the people who do Robot Chicken or the credits of the Lego movies, and they stop motion animate the build. It is so amazing to see. Anyway, I gotta go to the garage and start moving some packs in and out. So I just blinked my video, and I'll be back in a while.
Okay, mate.
Yep.
We'll watch out for you in the green room.
Yeah.
I tell you, this is quite an interesting build. It's a very sophisticated bit of techniques going on here. This is always I always find with Star Wars set, probably any other set, to be honest. And actually, Coconut, you're a whiz when it comes to doing stuff like Star Wars stuff. I always find the best builds are ones that have kind of got this framework of techniques.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Just because the Technic frame always holds stuff together so well. Like one of my all-time favorite sets is the 2013 ATAT because it's got this sweet Technic frame that's like hidden. Because I don't know, personally, I don't really like Technic. It doesn't look super great. But the thing I like about Star Wars sets is, for example, this dropship right here. This is the dropship that came out in 2009. It's got to take one.
Let me get you on some solo screen there, mate. That looks like something pretty amazing.
Yeah, so this is one of my all-time favorite sets. This is it's a dropship, but it's also got this mechanism underneath that allows it to pick up walkers. So you could pick up ATTEs and ATOTs, but it's got a Technic frame. However, it's hidden inside of the brick. So you kind of build this Technic frame and then just hide it. And I think that really allows Lego to do stuff like picking up huge walkers with sets like this.
Yeah. That is pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, would it pick up the new massive walker that he's building?
They probably wouldn't be able to pick that one up. Well, I guess if you rigged it right, you probably could do it. I don't know how heavy that AT-AT is going to be, though.
I think you need a bigger dropship, mate.
Yeah. The funny thing is that if you don't connect this right, the walker can drop off. And I was showing this off to my family, and I picked up a walker, and it's got this carry handle. So I picked it up off the ground, and the walker just plopped right off and smashed it.
No. Have you got the walker as well?
Yeah, I do actually. I'll pull it up right here.
All right, let's take a look.
So this one is called the ATOT, the All-Terrain Open Transport. This is a really rare walker. It only comes in the one set with that dropship. And so it's got this one has like a mini Technic frame right here. And this is the carry handle. And so basically what you do is you fold this cockpit in like this. And then
Wow.
Yeah, it's got this little mechanism up in here.
How many pieces in this set?
It's got, let's see,
That's got to be,
1,758.
yeah, I was going to say it's got to be 2,000.
So yeah, you can just pick up your walker like this.
Love it.
And then just, I like to swoosh it around my apartment.
Swoosh it in. Be like, no, look out.
Yeah. So yeah, I was showing this to my family, and this walker wasn't attached properly, so it just dropped down and just annihilated itself.
Oh, whoopsie.
Yeah.
Can you show us that sticker, that panel, where your thumb is, your left thumb?
This one?
Yeah, show us that.
Yeah, so this is the decal art.
That is bloody awesome.
I'm trying to remember what this says. I saw the translation for it, but yeah, the decal art on the gunships, especially the Clone Wars gunships, are really cool.
Is there one that's got the flying tigers? The snarling face.
Yes, there is. So this one, this set comes with 2 sticker types. You can get this one or the one that Doc was talking about. It's like a monster face right there on the side.
Yeah, you saw it in the Clone Wars cartoon.
Yeah, that's the one I prefer. I bought this set off eBay, and they had already applied the droid head sticker, unfortunately. But yeah, I actually have 2 of these. I'm selling one of them to kind of pay for the other one. But it's a really awesome set.
Oh, that's good going, my friend. That is amazing. I mean, that is a brilliant set. When you showed it off, what did they? What did your parents and friends say?
They were impressed. They loved it. Like my mom, I swear she's gonna have a heart attack when it dropped. But they were really impressed with it. I think a lot of people don't realize like what Lego can do. Especially this is a old set. This came out in 2009, so I don't think a lot of people really remember it. So to see a giant gunship that you can pick up and hold, it's really impressive.
Okay, it looks like Titanium is going to challenge you with a gunship.
I got my own Republic gunship, 2013,
yeah. I love
and I modified it to give it front doors. I still need to buy window pieces for it, like the little transparent pieces, but the front doors work. And then I put the little front turrets.
The pods.
To the front.
Yeah.
And
has that got the stickers on it as well?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have like the big panel stickers in the front, but it's got all the stickers that came with the set. And you can switch out the little pods in the front for a couple of lights, which is a little function I worked in there. Yeah.
Trick or Brick saying in the chat, he's going, I drop tested my bookshop about a week ago. Well, my 2-year-old drop tested it for me. Oh, Trick or Brick, I hope you didn't lose your Moby brick, my friend. So, Titanium, what do you reckon then of the UCS being voted in as the gunship being voted in as a future UCS set?
I'm excited to see what it'll be like. I don't know if I'll be able to buy it because prices, but yeah, if it's good, I will certainly try to buy it.
Right. It depends on how big it's going to be too.
Yeah, it might take a shelf or a table.
I reckon it will because it's a big old lump. How about you, Coconut? What do you reckon of the gunship winning that UCS vote?
I personally didn't vote for it. The gunship's one of my all-time favorite sets. However, I was afraid because the gunship already currently is pretty close to minifigure scale, and so I just don't know what they're going to do with it to make it worth a 200. That which is probably what it'll end up being. I don't know if they're going to make it larger than minifig scale, and I would really like that just because, like the Snow Speeder from episode 5 and the Y-Wing, they both made larger than minifig scale, and that just kind of bothered me because you can't really do much with it other than display it. And I like to build mine and put them in box and stuff, so I'm really hoping they stick to the minifig scale.
So what do you think, though, just out of interest, if they do minifig scale, which is what generally UCS sets can be, what figures would you like to see come with it?
I would really like to see a Phase 2 Commander Cody. He's a pretty pretty awesome figure that I think a lot of people really want to see, and I would like to own one as well. And really, just any of the clone commanders because they haven't made any of them in a long time.
Have you got any particular favorite commanders that you like Wolf or Rex?
I really like Cody. I like the 212th a lot. I also like Rex. I have Phase 2 Captain Rex, and I would like them to make another one because hopefully it'll bring the price down because those Phase 2 Captain Rexes are super expensive.
Yeah. Why was that? Yeah.
It only came in one set.
Oh, okay.
And it was released a while ago, and Captain Rex and the 501st are just, they're an insanely popular division, right? I'm sure you've probably seen the whole 501st Battle Pack movement that M&R started. Like, everybody just eats up the 501st Troopers and Rex, so they're in high demand.
Yeah, that's Ryan from M&R, and I'm sure everyone's heard of him. His channel is fantastic. Yeah, he's a big advocate of that.
I'm interested. I have a question for Titanium J because I did the same thing with my 2013 gunship. I modified it to put a door on the front. I want to see what you did for your door because I was having a little bit of trouble getting one on the front.
Okay, so what I did is I built a few pieces. Let me see if I can actually try and pull it out.
We can take a look.
I think I made it so that you could pull the function out if you had to. Oh, I can pull the door out. That works well. So I built a few extra pieces into the front up there. And I made sure it wouldn't impact minifigs and how they would stand in there, so minifigs can still fit.
Yeah.
And then I had this couple of Technic pieces here, semi-similar to the
back door.
Yeah, but just one, and then I used what pieces I had available to me to make the hinge. I obviously only had one hinge.
So was that something that needed to be done?
Something I felt like doing.
Yeah, it's like
I've been watching a lot of Clone Wars when I had this, and I decided to build in the feature a couple of years ago. So, and I mean it's relatively stable. So
that's a really good idea. I didn't even think to drop the roof down. I just connected mine on to the existing Technic brick that was already in there, but it's kind of wobbly.
Yeah.
I might end up buying the new one because I ain't got no damn gum shit.
No, I don't. And that's the only reason I voted for it, to be honest. I just haven't got it. And they
Hashtag jealous.
It's like, yeah, I have about 6 gunships right now.
Oh, good lord.
That's enough for me and Doc to have at least one each. So.
Exactly. You'll have 4. You'll have plenty.
Yeah. And then in order to get the little pods on the bottom, I built in an extra layer of gray plates. And then there were slopes where the pods were, and I used those inside here when I was building it up. So all the pieces that were part of the gunship are still integrated somehow within this build. And then I just used some extra.
That's really cool. I totally agree with you. The 2013 gunship really needed that extra set of doors.
Also, Phase 2 Captain Rex.
Uh-oh. Yeah. 501st gun, whatever they thingy.
Let's take a look at that Rex. I want to see that Rex in full bloom because I remember he's got a... I tell you what, Doc, that would make a good helmet for that new Star Wars range coming out.
Yeah.
Best part is
he's got the poltroon and the other part thingy, the whatever they call the skirt thing. I can't remember.
That's not the.
Oh, it's got a funny name, hasn't it? I know what you mean. I was like, what does that mean when I first heard it?
Here's another good one.
Hey, that's not Pre-Vizsla.
Yep.
Oh, I love Pre-Vizsla.
I got both of these for free. I
He
had
was
a couple friends.
such a jerk in the Clone War cartoon or in the cartoon. It's like, kill him now, Darth Maul. Just kill him.
Yeah. So like a year ago or so, I had a couple of friends who were getting rid of their Lego collections, and they were like, "Do you want them?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And they just gave them to me.
You got your free.
You didn't get Vizsla's ship. You just got Vizsla.
No, I did get this ship.
I've got a business ship to build, actually. I was hoping to do that this week. Yeah, that is a very cool build.
No.
Yeah.
It was only missing a couple pieces, but
And it spins. Does it spin? Yeah, it
Love
spins,
that.
it spins
That is
and
brilliant.
flips. Oh, my mind blown. It's just like it does it all.
Yeah, it's so cool, man.
Yeah, I feel like Kylo Ren shuttle is based on that in the Tidarian thing.
yeah.
Like,
No,
wow.
that is very cool. Yeah, this is so I have got a Cody to a point. There we go. I've got Cody.
Yep. I have them too.
Cody.
I knew you was going to say that. I tell you, the only thing I don't like about Cody, and this is what interests me, what people think out there, is Cody was the guy that went to shoot down Obi-Wan.
Yeah. But that's only because he was programmed to. Before that, he was Obi-Wan's best friend.
Okay.
Yeah. You know. Till they flipped that switch in his brain. But he wasn't one of the ones that got the ship taken out. Because I know
Nope.
Cody or Captain Rex and some of the other guys did.
Trapjaw's saying in the chat, he's saying, I need my first gunship. Do you know what, Trapjaw? It's exactly the same. Doc and I completely feel 100% all about that as well. That said, I would have been quite happy with the frigate as well. The frigate was a good second one to go for as far as I was concerned. But hey, I really wanted the gunship. I never. That was only really a personal thing that I wanted. Oh, there we go.
Is that dabbing? Or is that
Yep.
you saying bolting?
No, it's dabbing.
The only one I got is that Vader. I got Vader. And I won that in a giveaway.
I got the Vader to build, but you give away the
Gave away Boba Fett. And my brother, my little brother in Eastern Washington, he was the one that won.
So Trickle Brick says he says my son used to be all about Star Wars sets, but he's since fit that script and more about Ninjago sets. I'm kind of stuck in between. Really, I'm collecting quite a lot of Ninjago at the moment, and yeah, with that in mind, I'm definitely doing my next build will be a Ninjago set in some way, shape, or form. Oh, yeah. Well, let me put you on solo build, solo layout, because I've got that one, and I tell you what, that's a very hard set to get hold of.
Yeah.
Yep.
General
I was
Grievous.
fortunate enough to get him when he came out, so
Yeah.
I
I
got
liked him.
a General Grievous minifigure, but I don't have a.
So do I.
But I don't have a big one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. That is very cool.
Did they make an R2D2 or a C3PO?
Nope.
No.
They didn't. They've done the R2D2 UTS set, haven't they? A bit like the BB-8 and the DO that's coming out.
Yeah, they did make a R2D2 like that. Yeah. But C3PO would be so perfect for that, brick built line or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But mine came with 2 left whatever pieces, and so one of his arms does. He only has 4 arms, instead of 6 arms. And I never wrote to Lego, said, "Dear Lego, please fix this problem. General Grievous can't kill a Jedi."
Yeah, are you actually building something there, Coconut, or are you still deconstructing?
So this is taking down an old tank. Back when I was really little, I was hardcore into military tanks. So I'm taking apart these old. It's a U.S. tank. It's not really a tank. It's a Bradley infantry fighting vehicle. So I've got a couple of them, and I decided I only wanted one. So I'm taking the other one apart. Used for parts.
That's very cool, my friend. That's very cool. Right, let's. You got some more? You want to go through some figures that you've got there?
Brickhive says a lot of flex going on. I got some tape for you.
Flex tape.
And then this is the only Darth Vader I own. He's
Is
from
it
the 2014 Star Destroyer.
So it's got the original helmet.
Yeah, it's the last one with the original helmet.
So, which do you prefer, the original or the new one?
I like the original.
That's the only one he's got.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You're lumped with it.
So where's Hive? What's Hive doing other than chatting at us?
Well, Hive reckons he's multitasking at the moment. Hive, don't forget, you can always jump in, my friend, if you want to. He's got the link. Come on, show us some more figures then. That's
Here's Sabine.
Sabine, yes.
And I ordered her helmet on Bricklink because I had the speeder bike set that she was in. So I just ordered her helmet. It wasn't very expensive. So
was she in one of the Rebel sets?
Yeah.
That's a good cartoon. That is. I actually talking to Rebels. We
Had Bane.
Did you not get into that, Doc? Oh, I like it.
Did I know what about what?
Did you not get into Rebels, or did you like Rebels?
Oh, I watched the Rebels.
Oh, man.
I couldn't understand why people hated it.
I liked it. I thought it was very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rebels was all right.
I can't talk to you now, Jay. Does he have the curved lightsaber?
Yeah, it's in my Star Wars weapons storage, which is a different container.
A Star Wars weapons storage. I tell you what, Moto would be proud of you, mate.
So just Star Wars. Nobody else's weapons are in with the Star Wars weapons?
Nope. But there's also a bunch of broken battle droids in there too, so.
Roger that.
Is that Newt Gunray or the other guy?
It's Newt Gunray.
Oh, do you know, I haven't got that figure yet. I'd imagine Paul's probably got it.
He's another one I got for free.
What did you? What
friend.
set did that guy come in?
What is what?
It came in the Anakin's Jedi Interceptor from, I think, 2014. No, not 2014. 2012.
We don't have anything to play those.
It was the green
We don't
one.
have a VHS player that works.
It wasn't a very expensive, as he carefully lays the figure down into the feather-lined case.
Yeah. Yeah. I went into a charity shop a couple of weeks ago, and I said, "Oh, have you got any Lego in?" And they said to me, "Says now we had a massive box come in last week, but we haven't got any more left." I was like, "Oh, I've never once been to a charity shop and managed to grab myself any Lego."
Is that a Y-wing pilot?
It's an A-wing pilot.
A-wing.
I think the arms are broken on this one though.
What do you mean
Oh.
broken?
Whereabouts are they broken?
They're cracked.
Oh,
Yeah. And then he's got the alternate expression for when he's
in trouble?
for when he's crashing into the Super Star Destroyer. It's that pilot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
Going right through the bridge, huh?
Uh-huh. Takes him out.
You gonna do that IRL? You're gonna ram it through a model?
It's he's such
He's
a
an
good
older Palpatine.
Every time I see him in Lego form, I just think of him
Oh,
in
yeah.
Lego cartoons. He's like, "You're such a goofball."
Yep.
So the funny story is with this one is a few years back, probably like 2013 or so, I needed an Emperor Palpatine minifig, and I was at like this toy store near an arcade, and they had Emperor Palpatine shuttle. They also had the TIE Defender, so I weighed my options and I picked Palpatine shuttle. And then the next year, Emperor Palpatine came out in the book.
Whoopsie.
Yeah,
And that
but you have his shuttle. He can't fly around the galaxy in a book, Jay.
His shuttle's a pretty cool set too. Is that the one that comes with the 2 Phase 2 shock troopers?
Ooh, General.
No,
Veers.
it's not.
So
Oh,
It
it's
came with like
the old one.
came with a burned Anakin.
Okay.
You may commence your landing.
Crispy Anakin, yeah.
Yeah, and then here's the newer Palpatine, the one that I got from the book.
Yeah, he's cool.
He was crazy in the Freemaker Chronicles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what was that all about?
That was it was just like Lego had their chance to make their own story in Star Wars, and so they did. There was an actual weapon in that you could use. You could actually stand on one planet and cut another planet in half.
Yeah. Then you can repair it with only flex tape.
Yes. And they had the Arrowhead was such an awesome ship, especially when they finally used it and they flew it because it had a blade on the front of the ship that could cut through anything. And so they basically cut a Star Destroyer in half.
It was sort of like the Holdo maneuver, but real, like real.
More Star Warsy.
More Star Warsy, yeah. There you go.
It was epic. It was epic. And MOC, the robot, was just fantastic.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm back. I just my cell phone, I'm charging it now, might overheat, but I'm back.
Oh, good to have you back. I tell you what, I'd like to know what it is actually you've got there, because that looks epic.
You've never seen that?
Oh, he has not seen the spaceship. Oh God, I forgot. Okay, so
I've not seen that at all. It looks amazing.
All right, so yeah, if you go to Instagram, moto.lego, moto.lego, you can see what this looked like when it was all together. But it's a 2 meter.
Yeah, it's too short. It's short. It's taller than him when it's all together.
Yeah, when it's all together, it's 2 meters. It would hit the ceiling here, but it collapsed and twisted. So for Rickroll's Chicago, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the second version of this. And this is let me just go freehands because you guys hadn't seen this before. I'm spacing out here. I'm not being a good builder. Here we go. All right. Okay. Sorry, the power cable. All right, let's take it from the top. So there's a minifigure, and then this is like agreeable to the dome. And then what I did is these translucent cockpits. By the way, Tiny Art Director's here.
Hey.
He's gonna help us. They said hey. Yeah. I love these translucent windscreens. I don't think they're made anymore. So on Bricklink, I ordered like a third of what was available on Bricklink at the time. But what I did is I've got a Technic set of ring structures that I devised, and then I triangulate, and I'm using these. They're in red in there, but I don't know if you can see them, but they're basically a Technic brick. Let me find another one. Where's a good one? Where is it, buddy? Help me out.
I'm trying.
Right there?
Yeah.
They're right there. So there's a Technic brick that you can use an axle, a 2-axle, to make a hinge. And it has a Technic pin on the end. So by using those, I'm able to get these angles going. And you can see in here one of the ring structures as an example. So I made a bunch of these rings with various diameters, and then I triangulate some spars up to keep everything stable. There's another ring, another, and so on and so forth. And I can't remember if it's 24 or 28. But down here I have rings that go like in 24. No, I just think 16, 20. Yeah, 24. And each level I subtract 4. So I go from 24 to 20, from 20 to 16, and then at the very end I go 16 to 12 and 12 to 6 to give it an egg shape. Yeah, stand next to that, buddy. Can you stand next to that? There you go. You get an idea of the height.
Wow.
Ta-da!
That is super impressive.
Yeah, you should have seen it when it was all together. It was huge.
That is fantastic. That is massive. Well, it makes my AT-AT look tiny.
And the complicated technique all involved in that is just like, it's like, what?
So I've got a piece to show you, Moto. You might be able to help me out here. So I'm trying to get this section on here. If I just go back, let me get rid of that first of all, and let's take you out again. So if I put this on here, so I've got this trapdoor here. Hold on. And I've got this here. This, what I think is sort of the hatch for it, but it doesn't want to sit in there. So
That's
I'm
good.
wondering, I've got the wrong part there.
That's the wrong hatch piece, Greg.
They've sent me the wrong one. So what? Well, you won't know. So what I'll have to do, I'll just fit that, and I'll come back and fit that at a later date. Yeah, it's too small. I can see there the hinge there. That section there is too wide. Oh well. Well, I mean, if that was source material, Luke would have just walked in straight away. He wouldn't have had to use his lightsaber. Oh, we lost someone. Oh, Moto.
Sorry about that. My phone overheated.
Yeah.
And when it does, it terminates. The good old internet is no longer there. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'll be leaving shortly, but what I can do is tell you what my next plans are.
Yeah, go for it, my friend.
Okay, let's see if I can use my finger. Here we go. So there's the dome. I'm going to redo all the strength of the connections in there, which is a good old Friends railroad track in a circle. I sandwiched them together. So this ring, once I get it together and put Technic all around the joints, will be really strong. Because what I'm going to do is take this clear part off. I'm going to build a bottom part like an egg. So it'll be a translucent crystal egg. I'll put some arms floating it in space back down to the body here. And then I'm going to beef these suckers way up because the engines are really long too. And hopefully I can make a red base that will set it all at an angle. It's going to be, that's the idea so far.
That's pretty cool.
That's it. So I'm going to start by building a ring, beefing it up, pop this top off, move this back out to the later, work on getting that crystal egg shape complete, and then I'll probably connect it with 8, 6, 8, whatever how many arms I need to connect it back to the structure and have it sort of suspended as a cradle in the body. So it's really this crystalline thing that's sort of suspended in there.
Moto, do you like have like some sort of budget or something like that for when you like? Do you say like, okay, I'll spend so much a month on Lego, or do you just say this is what I've got in my mind? I've just got to make it.
No, I do have to work off of a budget. So, like with the Technic stuff, there were a bunch of Technic I had to stop, but it took me weeks to work out the structure. The only time I went crazy was definitely on those translucent elements because there's only a limited number of them in the world. And when I needed volume of them, I got all my cards ready. And then I went ahead and bought them all in one shot across a 15-minute period because if I bought them in lots, the price would have kept going up. You know, as the scarcity goes. So I created like a third of the world and then stopped.
Yeah.
And now they're harder to find. But
yeah,
I do operate within a budget. I'll spend a lot and then stop as I spend, weeks and months building. And then I'll come back and do, let the reserve stock up and then I'll spend and stop, kind of that kind of cadence.
And have you got, is this kind of like this area where you built that? Is that kind of your area for Lego in the house? Is that where you're allowed to put it?
Yeah, my son, the other room has a ton of Lego, but it's where my son builds Lego. And it's really a lot. I mean, this is messy, but as messy. But yeah, there's a gas heater over there. There's a laundry. There's a mud sink. There's a rug and then a bed sheet. And I keep cleaning the bed sheet as dust because I have a back door right here which tracks all the dirt in.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then back here I have my containers of stuff on the side getting ready, and then what I do is I just drop all the bags and containers on the sides there and I pull from them as I need. But yeah, I don't have a table. I don't have anything elegant. I literally build on the floor. in a basement next to a gas heater. That's where all this stuff comes from. And then I have like a make.
That is some
It's
setup.
pretty basic. I mean, just like any kid, if you had a bed sheet on the floor of your room, that's kind of what's going on here.
Yeah. Well, but when you're designing your stuff, do you design it by putting the bricks together, or do you use like a studio or something like that?
No. This stuff is so. You looked at the connections; they're so complicated. Studio would be tough. Unless I get stuck, I'll work it on studio.
Yeah.
Like I do a lot of repeated stuff. So one way to build really fast is I build radially. I build concentric circle stuff, as you can tell. But the idea is that once you solve one wedge of the pie and it works, all you have to do is sit there and just mechanically jam it, the rest of it out. So that does save some thinking time. But yeah, I have an idea. Like I said, I don't have it here. It's in a museum right now. But my first spaceship was very much this shape. And what I've been doing is going back to my older builds when I first started and saying, what could I do with them now if I just increase the scale? So that Bionicle Beast, that was a little drag knocked out a while ago, and that's like the big version of it. This is like the big version of my very first mock. But yeah, this one is pricey. There's a lot of money in some of these parts here.
Mm-hmm.
The part count's really high.
And how many?
But then again, I invested 400 hours over nearly half a year putting this one together.
Wow. And how do you transport that?
I had a custom wooden crate I had to put together last time, and it didn't work very well. So that's why I'm kind of going to take this apart in sections, and I'm going to make each section able to dislocate and package up around 4 foot or 5 foot sections so I could get into a moving van. Because that is a problem. When you get something that's 2 meters, 7.5 feet, all in one unit, I was able to cut off the top here. This top part pops off, but the rest of it is this gigantic, 5.5 foot large scale wooden crate. And it just, it's like you need a truck to move that thing around. It's just too darn big.
Is it quite heavy as well?
I swooshed it. So yeah, I could pick it up and fly it around because it's all skeletal. It's all Technic. There's not a lot of heavy brick into it, but it does weigh maybe, I don't know. I'm not very strong, so if I can pick it up, it must be light. I'm not like, Doc will get this, I'm not like Christian, I'm not the army sergeant who's just shredded. That guy could probably bench this thing, no problem.
That's pretty cool, man. That is very cool. It's huge, but I mean, have you got a name for it as well?
Yeah, it's called Prosperitas, Navis Reginas, or Astra. It's the Prosperity, the Royal Starship. So this is the flagship. There's nothing I'm going to build that could possibly be bigger than this.
That's like your Excelsior or sort. So why spaceships?
Yeah.
What's your thing with spaceships? Because I mean, Coconut's always building Star Wars stuff, and his affiliation is always going to be with Star Wars. And I don't know, Coconut, she seems to like a lot of Clone Wars stuff as well. Would I be right in saying that?
I think it's just everybody has their thing. And when I was young, I built a spaceship. And ever since then, when I built my first mock, my brother said, "You always make cool spaceships. Build a spaceship."
Oh, okay.
And since I started, once you start a theme, you kind of have to keep going within the.
Yeah, no,
But yeah,
I know exactly what you mean there, mate.
My theme is magical spaceships. Spaceships, so if classic space and castle kept evolving together and then combined, so you had like elves in space, where I'm at.
Cool. Lego the Maniac's asking you a question. He's saying, how many different stores did you have to buy the windows from?
I lost track. It was like 13. Anything that had 5 or more windscreens, I bought. And then for the Technic, that mostly came from one place. There was a store in Hong Kong that had something like 200 of all the Technic lift arms in the right lengths. So I pretty much blew that store away and then went after some other stuff. I tried to stay regional to US, and then I went to Canada. When North America ran out, I went to, I think it was Turkey, Deutschland, UK, and then finally Hong Kong.
Wow. God, the host.
But yeah, this is definitely without BrickLink, without a global community of stores, this would have been impossible to achieve.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's pretty epic, my friend.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that's what the judges say on these Lego Master shows. They're like, build it, make it epic, make it epic, make it epic. But yeah, I started out by thinking, I know the general shape, I know what I want to do. I want to make it the largest spaceship I can possibly make before it falls down, and it fell down. So now I know the right size.
What about you, Doc? What's the biggest spaceship you've built? I mean,
but I gotta tell you, I gotta talk here. I gotta get ready for my little mini hike with my little dude.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Yeah. Talk to you later. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming in, Moto, and showing off your epic scene.
My stuff. My stuff, yeah. It's rough right now. It's all shattered.
And sorry, I've got to ask as well, your laundry machines you've got in the background there, what made they? Because they're epic as well.
So one of them, they're Whirlpool Duet Steams. They're probably about 10 years old. They're the eco-friendly front loaders that save because I'm all like Mr. Green out here. But yeah, they take a lot of laundry, which when we had our baby and we did the washable diapers, you wanted to be able to have a steam clean.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was critical.
Okay, that's interesting. All right, dude. Well, look, take care. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Yep.
And we'll see you again soon on the London's Calling live stream.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Hopefully I can always find the time.
Really
unusual times.
I'll always throw you an email, mate. If you're free, great. You know, it's as easy as that. That goes for you, Trick or Brick, and you, Lego Maniac. If you're ever free, yeah, that's cool. I'll drop you an email, see if you are, and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of how we roll. And if there's people that want to join in, they can as well. Now,
by the way, if I only had what Coconut Brick has, man, I'd be living large. That setup with the table and the drawer and the shelves.
Yeah.
I'd be like luxury.
Yeah.
But
anyway, bye.
Yeah, take care, man. You know what? It's like one of those things in life whereby it's time, money, and all that kind of stuff. You've either got the space, you haven't got the space, or you've got the money. You haven't got the money, but you've got the time. That generally, that's how life works.
I think a lot of it has to do with priorities too, because like I'm super neat and I'm super organized, and so like this stuff, I may not have as many bricks as people, but I definitely like to have what I have very organized and very accessible. And so I prioritize that over, buying lots of Legos, although I do have a fair amount of Lego.
Yeah, Trick or Brick saying you get people that like M&R Productions bad-mouthing BL store owners, but it's because he doesn't understand the service provided. He doesn't build mocks, but rather just puts together sets. Yeah, I can't say I've seen any videos where M&R does kind of bad-mouth them personally, but I would say that there are really good brick stores out there, and there are some bad ones as well. Hey, Brick Vibe, welcome to the stream, my friend. Great to have you here, mate. I guess it all walks of life, Trick or Brick. You get shops that you go to, and some of them are really good, and some of them are pretty bad. And you got Brick Vibe as well. He's I believe one of the biggest in America, actually. It's great to have you here, mate. And yeah, so then he goes on to say, Trick or Brick says a lot of cool builds wouldn't be possible without BrickLink and Brickout. Oh yeah, 100% agree. I certainly wouldn't be doing this ATAT if BrickLink wasn't around. And I've never actually used Brickout. Titanium, have you ever used Brickout?
No, I haven't.
How about
you?
Look
at it once.
No, I looked at it one time to find the name of a piece that I was looking for, but I've never actually purchased off of it. I'm too hooked on BrickLink.
Brick Allen's still out there. Good to see you, Brick Allen. Trick or Brick says, I've ordered 2 or 3 times from Brick Vibe recently. Lots of dark orange 1x2 plates for the corner garage redesign. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, everyone who's out there should definitely check out the different Bricklink stores out there. We've got 2 fine ones here with Brick Vibe and Trick or Brick as well. Now, what are you up to there, Titanium?
I am rebuilding Yoda's Jedi Starfighter. I had turned it into an alternate build months ago, and I've finally decided I should build this back up.
1, 2, 3, 4.
To the original build or back to your alternate build?
The original.
Is that quite a big build?
No, it's not too big.
Okay. What sort of stuff you got building coming up next to build, Doc?
Not a thing.
Oh, right. Is it? Do you ever get to a time, Doc, when there's kind of just nothing out there that you fancy doing?
Well, I don't really have anything, and with the stores being like they are, I'm just not going to go hang out and go looking. Like, because I don't want to go looking, and then who knows what I might catch and bring home. So at this point, it's just like let's just wait until they give the all clear. And I don't like buying online because if I don't like something or whatever, because I bought Lego and then changed my mind and been able to go back to the store and go give me my dang money back now.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to repackage it back up and go, Plus, I like a lot of times, it'll look cool online or whatever, and then if I've seen it in person, I'm like not as impressed. So I like to actually be able to go to the store and see the boxes, especially because I've got 3 Lego stores within an hour of me, and all the other retailers that sell Lego. So wait for it to I get a better sale for me.
Yeah.
And I like to be able, like I said, I like to be able to look at the stuff in my hand and go, well, this one. Then I can hold them side by side and go, well,
I tell you what, isn't it quite rare though to have so many Lego stores nearby?
Well, I don't know. It's just they're not very big. I mean, every time I've seen anybody else go to one of their Lego stores, I'm like, damn, ours is like a shoebox compared to any of these other Lego stores. And everybody else has got Lego Discovery Centers near them and whatnot. And we just got, basic Lego store.
Yeah, the all right there. It's all coming together quite well. It uses some quite cool technique for this, doesn't it? So the thing with using the instructions are quite clear, but they're not as good as what Lego does. Because what Lego does, when you've got a part going on there in a particular position, it can be if it's tricky to see it. What Lego tends to do on the instructions is outline it in red, but this particular instruction manual doesn't have that. So sometimes you've really got to look. It tells you there's a part that goes in on it, but it's not too specific as to where it goes exactly. So you're kind of moving around the picture to look at it and see where it goes. Okay, and sometimes.
So, Greg, when you purchased those instructions, does it come with a part list?
Yeah, it does. But the cool thing with this particular set of instructions is that it's free. That's why I went for it.
Oh, very nice.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, I just want to build a big set. I want to build a big set, and that was the first one I came across. I was like, well, I've got an AT-AT. Why don't I build one of those? And I went for this oversized one, and that I was so wet behind the ears. I was like, oh, it's Lego. It can't be that expensive, surely.
Yeah.
Anyway, probably £300 plus. I've now managed to get my set. Hey, Deppy Shep, how you doing, mate?
So
if you want to join in, mate, just drop me, let me know, and I can drop you a link. But yeah, I got the set because effectively the instructions were free, but since then I have bought a couple of other ones from Brick Vault. They tend to do some pretty decent instructions.
And so do they include a part list and then you just go Like, is it like online? Could you just like copy and paste and plug it into Bricklink, or do you have to go find the parts individually?
Yeah, it was really good actually. It was really cool because you go to, I think it's called Rebrickable, and you go there, just Google it, and then what it happens is it'll give you the PDF file, which is free. And like I say, the instructions are pretty good. They're not as good, but they are pretty good. Anyway, and what it does, it gives you like an XML file to upload into the Bricklink store, and then it creates your wanted list for you.
Yeah.
And it goes like that. Oh, look at that for a train. Oh, let's take a look at this. I didn't know you was into trains at all, Titanium. Tell us the color of it. It looks like the mallard.
It's like a dark blue. It's basically a beefier Emerald Knight in dark blue. And I found this on Rebrickable, and the instructions were free. And I look in the parts list. I had about 2/3 of the parts, and in order to get the rest, I ended up spending about $150.
Oh wow!
Yeah, good thing it was my birthday present.
And how many parts was that?
It's about 900. I think it was a lot of the dark blue. It's what made it so expensive, and also the train pieces. I didn't have any of those.
Well, that is my interest. What's that set called again? Or
it's kind of based on the Emerald Knight, but this one was called. It was like, I don't remember exactly what. I think it was Blue Steam. If you search that on Rebrickable, there's like 2 of them, and one has like without the tender, the other has with the tender.
Ah, well, that's pretty cool, man. It's beautiful. You've got a lot. You've got some pretty decent Star Wars stuff, some pretty good train stuff. But is Ninjago kind of your thing? That's where you're at.
Yeah, I've also got some space police stuff, but that's a bit varied at the moment. Yeah, Space Police 3 from 2009, 2010. That was my first Lego theme that I got into. Pre-Ninjago.
Yeah. Oh, that's impressive. Except. Right, let's go back to this. There we go. So, Coconut, what time is it where you are at the moment?
It is 1:18 in the afternoon.
Ah, that's nice. What about where you are, Doc? What is it where you are?
It's 12:18.
That's pretty cool. I love all the time. There's one thing that blows my mind. Okay, we've got someone in the green room, ladies and gentlemen. Deppy, Commander Deppy, welcome aboard.
Hello there.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Good to have you here. Thanks for popping in.
Oh, no problem.
So you're not having a bad time?
No. Unless you consider bad to be the good kind of bad.
Yeah, you could.
Wasn't that an old Michael Jackson song, Doc?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I was listening to that earlier.
It was that one where he was doing all the screaming and the crotch grabbing, and America got offended, as I recall.
I think he was just trying to keep hold of his wallet. So what's happening, Deppy? What are you up to?
So I'm actually working on rebuilding a set. It's this one.
A Lone Ranger. Whoa, those are like, nobody bought them, and I don't know what happened to them. Because I don't think people weren't even buying them on clearance. I think they all got into the Bricklink store and became parts. Oh, that's going to be a nice looking stagecoach.
Yep. So I have these 2 I'm working on. I have that many pieces. Yeah.
I tell you what, I'm
you might get
them built a stagecoach. I've never built a stagecoach. How about you, Doc? Have you ever built a stagecoach?
No, the closest thing I ever built to a stage. Well, actually, yes. it had the canopy that went over the back. I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute. No, we bought a bunch of the Wild West sets or whatever they were, the cavalry and everything when Zach was growing up. We had a whole bunch of them. So yes, I've built a covered wagon before. Matter of fact, I've slept in a covered wagon.
Have you really?
Yeah, it's at a campground. It was kind of cheating because this covered wagon, had electricity. but that was it. So it had lights, but that was it. You had lights inside. So
okay, so it was pretty luxurious then.
Yeah, so it had, the rest of it was all made of wood, and it had the canvas top over it and everything. But it had to have lights in it because of the safety requirements for kids to be able to stay at the campground or whatever. But it's, it still had wheels and everything, but it was anchored down, so it was, a covered wagon, but it had lights in it. That was the only thing. So there was no heat or anything. It was a covered wagon.
Oh, it sounds like a good time then, mate. I really genuinely would like to do something like that. Just do a bit of a tour of England. So in the chat drawer saying it's 18 minutes past 12 in California at the moment. Triple Brick says 3:18 p.m. EST, so Eastern time. Doesn't say Mercier is always offended. Sweet Set Deppy, yeah, it is. So stop, just like the actual film, The Lone Ranger, everything seemed to bomb in that.
I'm sorry, what?
Just like the film, The Lone Ranger. Is that what that Lego set was?
Yeah, it was based on the Lone Ranger movie that came out recently. The reboot with Johnny Depp as the Indian guy. It was horrible.
Yeah, how did that go down? Native American.
It's like the movie tanked, and because the movie tanked, the sets tanked because nobody wanted to buy anything that stunk as much as the dang movie. But the set, if you look at the sets now, people look at the sets in hindsight, and they're just kind of like they're kicking themselves because there's so many people that love the Western theme. It was like, yeah, if you guys would have bought the first wave of the Lone Ranger, they would have made a second wave of Lone Ranger.
Yeah,
but nobody bought the first wave, and so it just died.
Deppy,
nice. I am liking the Cloud City the best.
Deppy, do you want to give us a tour of your room?
Oh, why not?
Oh, cool one then. There you go.
So this is just the front TV.
So isn't that Cloud City though?
Yeah, that's Cloud City right here.
Because at first I thought that was Cloud Cars were a game controller.
Oh yeah, it kind of looks like it. Or a gun. Pew 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 pew. Star Lord.
Do you? How much do you like the Cloud City? Because I've always fancied that, but it just seemed too big to me.
Well, actually, the deal with this is I was kind of eyeing it primarily for the Slave One, and for like all the figures. But the thing is, at Christmas time, it went on sale for $250.
Yeah.
And then I had $100 in Amazon gift cards saved up from the past like 4 years, so it cost us about $125 around.
Ooh, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like it because it's got all those versions of the minifigures. Okay.
This is honestly one of my favorite things.
I love a bit of London. That looks fantastic. I've actually got that to build.
Yeah, and it's got London Bridge. Check it out.
Well, that's what
London Bridge is falling down.
Or is that Tower Bridge?
That's Tower Bridge. Everyone thinks that is London Bridge, though, so I kind of go with it sometimes, Doc.
Yeah, and you think to yourself, dumb Americans.
You want to come along and bowl our bridges, feel free.
Oh, what is that? Oh, that's that Spider-Man bridge attack.
Yeah, I kind of modded it with like a Venom breaking the bridge apart and then having a ton of minifigures on it.
Oh, I love the street signs. Oh, look at it. It's got almost every villain.
Yep.
Oh, you
then over here,
Kraven the Hunter.
The Beloved.
The speed built space station.
Oh yeah. That's where the S comes from. It was the ISSS, that one.
Is that a Star Destroyer?
Oh yeah, my mini one that I made.
It can be challenged by the space shuttle.
Pew 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 pew.
Yeah, that's what mine used to like.
There's a Saturn V. Nice. Do you have the lunar lander too?
No, that one I'm hoping to get for my birthday though. So
That is a great step.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
yes, big time, just big time. And then boom, the rest. Over here is just parts and stuff, mocks that I built over the time period. The plane I built in 2 minutes.
Yeah, the 3-in-1.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And Mandalorian, yeah.
But this is my favorite thing in this entire room.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Sorry
that's-
about the glare.
Oh, that's Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren.
Yes, sirree.
Do you have them all in Lego form?
No, I have most of them. There's one dude back there. I don't know where the rest are.
But did they make all of them?
No, they still have to make 2 of them.
Okay.
There's 6. And then this is from my video this morning.
Clone Army.
Yeah. Also got these. Well, those are stormtroopers. This is clones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then over here's
Oh, what's that skull?
this one or this one.
That one, yeah.
That's from one of the original Lego Ideas sets.
It's got a cannon on its head.
Yep. It's got tentacles.
Oh man, what was it from?
It's, if I can find the instruction booklet. Well, I know I have this one. That's the good guys one.
Okay, Hero Factory, right? No.
Actually, it's before that. I don't know, designed by Lego fans.
Okay.
I think it was sort of like the original.
Oh, maybe it was called Lego Factory before it became Lego Ideas.
Also, I have this.
Pirates, nice.
Yeah, nice.
Not built whatsoever.
Everyone seems to
demolished.
love pirates when it comes to Lego.
Pirate Space coming.
Yeah.
Space Police, yeah.
Nice.
Then, where's the instruction manual for that set?
It's like they should bring back Space Police, but bring it back through Ninjago.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Would you recommend
And
that,
then,
Jay? So we'll get some police in Ninjago.
And in
There we go.
space.
Police. So just out of interest, everyone in the chat and everyone here on the screen, what do? Do you keep your boxes? Do you throw your boxes? Or
Throw them away.
yeah, I've had a recent purge with mine as well.
Yep. The annual purge.
Yeah, no, I just throw it away as soon as it's built. It's like gone.
Do you keep the instructions though, Doc?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, good man. Me too.
Because I have to take them apart, so I want the instructions. So in case I ever put it back together, or if I sell it, I want to be able to sell it with the instructions, so people can put it back together.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Space Police.
Yep. The Galactic Enforcer.
Is that Harry Potter back there?
this is actually Indiana Jones. These two. This is Castle.
Castle.
I don't know what else is back there. Oh, it's a micromanager.
What is that white thing next to the helicopter?
Next to the helicopter. Oh, that's the old police. Here, let's see if I can pull it out.
So John Wise saying, I keep some of the boxes, and Trapjaw says, I keep the idea boxes and the UCS boxes.
Okay, so that's that full lab that opens up. Okay, inside the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
The worst thing is the front of it, like the part that you're supposed to attach this to, I don't have the top piece. So I've checked around and and I finally finished this from yesterday.
A micro Minecraft. Does it come with micro figures?
Yes, it does. And then, of course, over there is just random stuff, Funko Pops at the bottom. Then over here's
Some Star Wars.
all Star Wars.
Do you have a gunship?
Yep, and
Decky, is that all? Or is it like, is your one of your parents, or have you got a brother that's into it as well?
so here is the deal. So my brother had a good amount of Lego, and my two cousins had a lot of Lego. Sorry about that. But my cousins had a lot of Lego, and they all passed it down to me, so that's why I have most of these old sets, like the MTT, all of these.
Multiple of certain ones. It's kind of like, yeah. He's got the full Star Wars collection. It's like he wasn't even alive when they made that.
I was going to say, there's a lot of good sets going on there.
Yeah, and I do have a gunship.
Nice.
It's like
And for some reason, I have a dog on a Star Destroyer. On a shell.
You know, that's because of the Last Jedi, or no, the Rise of Skywalker, when they all ran across the hull. That one.
Oh yeah. Wait, let me go get Steve.
Yeah, that seems weird.
Yeah, well, they were in a planet's atmosphere. They weren't in space, and so it was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, but you know what? That kind of reminded me. Yeah, that film did go a bit like that. It reminded me of Star Trek.
Yes, the last two movies reminded me too much of Star Trek. It's like this is supposed to be Star Wars. What are we doing? But then a lot of people have been complaining that the new Star Trek, like Discovery, is too much like Star Wars because there are too many things blowing up. There's too much action. There's not enough, because Star Trek's supposed to be about people talking. And I'm just like, I kind of like the new Discovery. You know, a little bit more action, a little bit more special effects. You know, that's one of the things that Star Wars has been missing, or Star Trek's been missing. Nice, big old slave.
I haven't seen this week's Picard yet, Doc. Is that good?
Oh, I can't say anything. Spoilers. There are too many spoilers in this week's episode.
I've not seen it yet, so I definitely don't want to talk about it.
and it's a part 1, part 2 thing too. So
that's good.
You might want to wait until Thursday when part 2 comes out, and then you can watch part 1 and then part 2.
Oh yeah, I might do that
all together. And it was like this part 1 was like an hour and 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit longer, but yeah, a million questions are answered and a billion more are asked. So just kind of like, how are they gonna wrap this up? How is it gonna wrap up?
Chico Brick says, he goes, I ain't passing my Lego down to anybody. When I die, my boys will have to pull the Lego from a cold.
What he'll be doing is when he becomes a really old man, he'll be like, "What do you do with all your Lego, Dad?" "I'm mocking a coffin. You will bury me in it." I will use every last brick to make a super ornate coffin / sarcophagus. You can bury me in it. So you have 100 subscribers now, or you're 100 years old?
Well, kind of. No. But yeah, that was for my 100 subscribers. It's made out of 100 pieces, so that's why.
Oh, excellent.
That's clever. That's good mathematics.
So,
that is.
So all of them was one piece.
So are you going to make a 200 with 200 pieces and a 300? You know.
Well, I mean, I'm at 400, so I'm gonna have to make a
500.
Yeah, when I get there, probably like 6 months, maybe more. Long time, probably.
Yeah, that's a nice big movie.
I've also built some of these before. My cousins, I'm considering building these and like selling them to friends.
And what are those?
They're Lego built sort of statues, and the best thing about them is their arms move.
Uh-huh.
I tell you what, that's got more dexterity than the wooden figure that I bought.
Oh, did you get one of those wooden things?
I did.
No.
Don't hate on me on that. I went to the opening event here in London, so it was kind of cool. And Doc, one of the nice things about getting it was that I got hold of a couple of the I Love Lego Leicester Square bricks.
Okay.
Or tiles, and I posted one to Brandon for Christmas.
Oh, excellent.
So that was nice.
Does that have stud shooters or whatever those other shooters are?
It's got the spring-loaded ones.
There you go. That's the ones. And where does the droid sit in that? Oh,
that's where the droid sits.
Barely in the back. Someone's like, his ship was so much smaller than everybody else's too.
Yeah.
I like it when they can't fit the droid in; they just take the head off, and then you got the head, and you got this really thin wing, and it's like, well, where's the rest of it?
Exactly. You're like, there's no way this is fitting in there. And then you guys didn't even give me the rest of the droid in the set. What's up with that?
Did you guys ever have any of this theme?
No. We looked at it, but didn't ever get any.
I have 2 of the set. I have
because it was kind of like superheroes. The villains all look like, big time supervillains.
Big time.
Hold on, let me grab that one.
Doc, have you got any particular thing that you're into? Because I know you're quite generalist and stuff, but
yeah, no, not really. It's just whatever set, just pretty much piques my fancy at the moment. Although I have gotten all of the space, all of the real space, not the city space, but the actual real space that they've made so far. I've got all of those.
Yeah, they are good. They're quite special as well. I like those with the Lego ideas stuff. But someone mentioned
Space Police or Blacktron?
Space Police.
Space Police. Oh.
Oh,
That's right. Deppie asked who's got some Space Police. Jay's like, I've got something from every theme, I think.
yeah. Let's take a look at what Titanium's showing us there.
So ordinary cargo ship, right?
Yeah.
Wrong.
I knew it.
Yep, undercover cruiser.
And
And then I don't know if
you're under arrest.
that you can
You're nicked.
remove that.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, this does that same thing. That was the neat thing about Space Police. There were so many cool features.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have that one.
Quick Vibe saying in the chat that he said Picard was great, Doc. I've got to try and avoid this week just to see it because I think I might do what you said. Just watch 2 episodes. Okay. Is that the season finale next week?
Yes.
Okay.
But they've already been green lighted for season 2, and they're already working on writing on it. So
That's good.
Okay.
well,
so
I
this,
don't want to say anything bad, but Sir Patrick's only going to be here for so long, and be able to be
Welcome to the boat. They look really cool, man. They look like something out of oh god, what's that film?
like the black one looks like a car. That's
yeah,
turned
it's like
into
a
spaceship.
it's like a race car of some sort.
Blade
That
Runner.
they,
That's the film I'm thinking of. What do you guys reckon? Do you reckon it looks like something out of Blade Runner?
Yes. Does it
So-
transform in any way?
No, these don't transform, but they're set together. And the cool thing about this is that I had this set before, but it got demolished. So I looked on it was either Bricklink or eBay, and I rebought it new and sealed for less than its retail value, which was just a great feeling.
Yeah. TJ, do you have this one, Titanium J?
I did. It's another one that got demolished.
The
I
best
went
thing
through a
about this
period-
one is that
Yeah.
you pull it and the
Yeah.
front comes off.
And then you can take the shuttles on the back and add them to the front.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Doesn't it do some other?
Yeah. I may try and rebuild that set one day. I mean, I don't have the space for it now, but
Then it just becomes this.
yeah. Space Police was a cool theme.
It is a cool theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the weak part about the Space Police theme was the bad guys. It's like they needed to have some sort of major kingpin, and then
I mean, they had Brick Daddy.
Yeah, I know, but he was kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't feel like he controlled an empire of evil. Like he's kind of like, are you really trying to take over the galaxy, or just trying to be a bothersome guy?
And then this is the Lego Agent set.
Here's one that I liked: Space Truck Getaway, the one with the Space Police super laser inside.
Oh, hidden
Oh, yeah,
inside
that's-
the cargo container.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they had
That's
stolen.
one of the only ones my cousin would not let me have.
It's a good set.
You must have like a vast room of Lego sets. I've never done anything like it. You guys are just literally pulling them out of the hat.
I know.
Yep.
And you think that Jay just has these 2 little shells, and he just like, oh, hang on, let me pull out a crate from storage.
Yeah, if you see,
You're so right. I bet
if you see like older, if you see older videos, you can see like when I had a different setup. and there's a different perspective with that.
I'm like, Jay, you posted videos. When was the last time you posted a video? How many years?
It's been months. It hasn't been a year yet, but
Are you going to wait for a year then reboot it or something?
no, I might post pretty soon because I got nothing else to do for a week. Then college starts back up, even though it's online.
Have they sent you through all the various bits and pieces to get on and do that? Have they sent you all the various bits and pieces to get on and do with that?
Some of our professors have given us information. I mean, for some courses, it'll proceed relatively similarly, just online, like math courses. We just have to figure out how to do exams and such.
How are you going to keep motivated doing it from home? 'Cause I don't know about you, Doc, but I'd be kind of wanting to do other bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just gotta stay focused. And I know for one of my math courses, we're gonna get an online test, and we're gonna have a week to do it. And it's basically like open book, open notes, open sources, so you can even use the internet. As long as you don't have someone else do it for you, you're in the clear.
Yeah, do you know what? Sometimes I find those exams the hardest.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be easy.
Yeah, no. That's why they gave you open book, open source. So it's like you're going to need the help.
Yeah, seriously, you will. Because I've gone to do those, and I'm like, oh man, this is so hard. Like, it's not particularly enjoyable.
Yeah, and the internet will give you the wrong answer if you don't, precisely ask the right thing. Does that guy have a head?
Yeah, he does. It's just an alien head.
Like he's got no neck.
It's Brick Daddy. Yeah, here's another guy. He's got the opposite problem. His head's too big.
Yeah, one of my friends back up north where I used to live, if you went into his basement, you literally couldn't move without walking into Lego. And he had almost every single Atlantis set there was, and he had doubles of each.
Wow. Well, why did he have doubles of each? Was his parents like a collector of it or something like that?
I mean, he was the only one who collected it, but his dad was into the hobby, but he wasn't like, oh, we got to get this set, we got to get this set. He just, enforced the hobby. So,
it's like a mutated Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, his name is Frenzy. For a while, he was the only one alien that I was missing, but I spotted him at Brick Road, Chicago. Bought him for like $15 or so, 12, 15.
That's pretty cool. So, what Deppy and Titanium, are you like Coconut? Do you like really go into like putting your pieces away and cataloging all your sets and stuff like that? Do you guys all catalog your sets?
Yeah, I use Brickset to catalog my stuff. There's some of my organization. It's actually most of it. I have a tenderer cart for some of my bigger areas, and then I have a couple bins of slopes and a few other pieces. I've got a bin full of Technic. Got some other bins down here, just different categories. I need to resort at some point, but redo my sorting. Yeah.
That's pretty damn cool, my friend.
Yeah. I do need to get a new torso for this guy, for Wrench.
You need to do resorting. I need to just sort, period. Nothing is sorted.
It looks like you need a vacuum cleaner.
It looks like you must not go in that room without wearing slippers.
I mean...
That's a Space Police bad guy, too?
Yeah. He was my first. His name is Cranks, I believe.
Those are nice alien heads. I like that better.
That was a really nice bright one. Yeah, I like that.
And then here's Squid Man. He was my second.
Squid Man sounds like a superhero.
I have him too. Hold on.
Yeah, the orange-haired guy.
Yeah, and then there's Slicer or whatever. It's like reference to a Lego theme, and then Squidtron, And I gave them all weapons. Most of these guys didn't come with weapons of any sort, or the weapons were a bit different. But there's a Craniac.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So he was just a helmet over top of a black head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with the Skull Twins. So there's two of these guys, and then they have this alien head, and then an opposite face with a third eye.
But it's all covered up by the helmet, so
Yeah.
Rick says, whatever tickles you in arms. I love that word, in arms. It's such a weird word.
Here's the most common one. His name's Snake. He came in like 4 sets.
he's got one eyeball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a proper Cyclops. He was.
That was like the Chima characters that had, if it's like it's a lion character, you lift up the molded lion head and underneath printed on the face is a lion face. It's like, well, what did you make the molded heads for?
Yeah, that's weird. It's a waste of print. Maybe they designed them, Doc, and they just didn't like the finish.
And they were like, make heads for them. Because I always just thought they should have just made them special hair pieces or whatever instead. But then, might not have animated the same.
Here's the Space Police base that I've done. I don't know how many people have seen it. I'm assuming most people by now.
Chuck it off.
I've redone it a few times, and this is finally the design that I've pretty much settled on. I do have to work out like a few kinks on this side, but this side is pretty good.
Do the ships park on it somewhere?
Not yet. I may have a ship be able to park up here somehow.
Speaking of, look what I found. Hold on.
Oh yeah, the old Space Police stop motions. I love those.
Yep, here we go.
Pop it on.
What, there used to be instead of a TV show or?
Yeah, there were like 6 stop motions.
There's
in
Squid
series.
Man.
Yeah.
So he just, with that cape, he just looks like a superhero of some sort.
Yeah.
I remember watching this all the time.
Oh yeah, me too. It was classic for me.
There's a big thing in the Lego community with stop motion and stuff like that. Do any of you guys ever do any stop motion?
I tried it once for a school project.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best it could have been, but it wasn't the worst either.
Okay.
I don't have the patience for it, so.
Yeah.
Also, have any of... Go ahead.
Do you have any mates, Debbie, that are into it?
That are into what?
Like stop motion?
I have when I was a little younger, me and my cousin, we both had Nintendo 3DSs, and so those had the ability to do stop motions. So we made like a bajillion stop motions, and my cousin has them all on his Nintendo, and he can't find them, but I want to get them, download them, and post them on YouTube because they were so stupid.
Yeah, people love them though, man. People love a bit of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So 1, 2, and those and that. What are you up to there, Coconut? What's going down?
Right now, I'm just trying to take an inventory of my 501st Clone Troopers. I'm using them for my next mock, and so I'm trying to figure out how many I'm going to use and then how many I'm going to need because they're pretty expensive to buy. So I really don't want to buy more than I have to.
God. So how do you do your inventory? Do you put it all in a like some sort of spreadsheet or something like that?
My minifigures?
Yeah.
I mostly just keep them in this big bin. I don't really care for minifigures. I don't hate minifigures, but I much prefer vehicles and like building with the Lego. So I kind of just dump all my minifigures in here. And then when I need them, I dig them out. I want to try to start sorting them a little bit better so I can find the ones I'm looking for a lot easier. I use quite a few different minifigures for different mocks and stuff. And so I have a pretty wide variety. They're just all kind of crammed together.
Brick Trooper, who's in the house. Brick Trooper, I'd love you to join, my friend, but I'm going to be winding down the stream in a few moments. We've been going for a pretty good time, actually, 2 hours 15. So we're only going to go for another 10 minutes or so, mate. Maybe next time. Drop me an email, and then I can email you out when I'm going to be on again. What's that?
Hey, London.
Yeah.
I was just checking the comments. Chicker Brick said the basement. You say, what's his address? His address is nothing. He doesn't have one. I'm kidding. And then he said, note to self: don't walk barefoot on Deppy's floor. Yes.
Absolutely. Never do that with Lego. It's a bad combination, my friend.
I mean, to be honest, like me and my cousin, we would have firewalks when we were younger. So I can just now.
Yeah, that looks like a coconut's nightmare. That would be seeing all the.
I just have a panic attack and melt down on the floor, probably.
What you got there, Titanium?
I have the Max Security Transport. It's one of the limited edition Space Police sets. It is missing a couple of the stickers, but I'll get those eventually. And then I also have the other limited edition set from Space Police, which is Squidman's Pit Stop. Which I don't remember how much I paid for this. It was years ago that I bought it. But two pretty cool sets.
That is pretty cool, man. How many sets have you got in your room? You just always seem to be pulling out sets.
So, Bricklink says that Brickset has, it says that I have 499 sets, but I know I have a few more than that because I have like some ones that I haven't logged that aren't entirely complete.
How many did he say?
499.
499 sets?
Yeah, but there's probably more.
There's probably more. My Lord.
Yeah. Plus, I got a couple of garage sales.
Yeah, I got I got a bucket full of Lego compared to you people.
I'm in that ratio as well, Doc. I haven't got that much.
I thought I used to think I had a lot of Lego, and then I seen some people's collections, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I got nothing. I don't even have a small Bricklink store.
How long have you been collecting Lego, Doc?
Technically for like 5 years or so.
Okay. So I guess not too long compared to some people who have the massive collections.
Yeah, and I don't buy every set that comes out or whatever. I mean, I can go months without seeing anything that I want or like enough in order to get to. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's some people out there who will buy pretty much everything Lego puts out.
Yeah, I know people like that. It's just kind of like, really? Really? You don't even like the theme?
Yeah.
They're like, I know, but it's new. Look.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's a bit non-sustainable for me.
What about you, Greg? How long have you been collecting?
I've only really been collecting for about 2.5, 3 years.
Okay.
I got into Lego when I was training for the London Marathon in 2018, I think it was. And what would happen is I'd go for a long run, and then afterwards I'd have like a shower and stuff like that, and then I'd pop out to Tesco's, which is like a fruit and veg store. Well, actually, it's a massive store for buying food, and then what I do is I had some chicken and stuff, and then while I was there, I kind of saw these the Batman Series 1 collectible minifigures, and that was it really. I sort of started buying a few, and I just thought, oh, these are quite good. And then I was kind of ways of investing money a little bit differently as well. And I just thought, yeah, I might give this a shot. And I kind of buy some sets just kind of investing, but other things that I buy just because I really like them.
So that's really recent. I thought you'd been collecting for longer than that. That's pretty crazy. That's only, like you said, 3 years.
Yeah. And what it was, and then I thought, oh, okay, well, I could have a bit of fun and start like a YouTube channel up and kind of, just kind of take it from there.
What is that from? And it's wide enough to have 2 people sitting in it. Why has it only got 1 guy? What's up with that?
Because that's how it's built. It's an ambulance. It's an ambulance from 2006. It's one of my first Lego sets. I got a red bin, and this ambulance in 2006 for Christmas. This is not the original version. I had to rebuy it. But regardless, those were my first 2. And that's kind of what brought me into Lego. I didn't collect too much after that. Like over the next few years, I only bought like a few sets, only got a few sets from my parents. But then I think late 2009 and 2010 is when I started collecting more Space Police. And that's really when the collecting began. So I've been collecting, I guess, for about a decade.
Wow.
I think one advantage I have is that I haven't had a Dark Age yet.
Yeah, it'll come.
Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe a buying Dark Age.
Yeah, maybe like a Gray Age.
Chico Brick says, "It's being a former deputy sheriff. I'm shocked I'm not into Space Police." Yeah, so am I.
Yeah, the bad guys weren't threatening enough, Trick. You were like, yeah, that's who we're fighting now. Squid Man and that wannabe pimp guy? Yeah, no. I mean, that's why everybody loves the Ninjago. It's always the fate of the world that is at stake. Space Police was just like, what, they're robbing ATMs? That happens in city. You know, why did I come to space for this?
Yeah, good point, Doc. Right, so how long have we been streaming for, girls and boys? We're going 2 hours. I think we'll give it another 8 minutes. We'll round it off to 1:30, and then we'll call it a day, if that's okay with you guys.
Sounds great. Starting to get hungry.
Yeah, me too. I always start flagging after about 2 hours. I don't know about you, Doc, but
I pigged out before before the stream started, or before I joined the stream.
Yeah, I had some leftover pizza for lunch.
Leftover pizza. It's the best.
I can't eat cold leftover pizza.
Really? Not even like with salad cream or something like that?
No. The weird thing is, if I'm having pizza and the pizza goes cold, I can eat the pizza. But if you put it in the refrigerator and hand it to me the next day, I'll look at you like you're a crazy person. And I'll be like, put that in the microwave. What are you thinking?
That's funny.
It's like, at least get the chill off of it, okay? You don't have to heat it up.
Yeah, no, I don't like anything if it's super cold or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't. It's just kind of like, no, you got to warm that up a slight bit. A slight bit. Architecture sets got me into Lego because they remind me of all the places I've lived and traveled to, says Trick or Brick.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And he only likes fresh pizza. All else goes into the bin. So now when that pizza gets cold, toss it. Don't bother me with that. That hockey puck. So what's all that? What's all that green? Is that going to become a new Naboo? Or what's your next? What's your next big mock? Next big planet?
That's a good question. That's something I've been asking myself for a while, like what I'm gonna do with all this green, because this is one of three bins right here of just green bricks, and then I have green in here as well. So I'm thinking about starting up a brickling store or something to try to sell some of it off, because I don't know. I don't want to do Naboo again.
Well, what's the other? What's Endor? There's Endor.
Yeah, I've had people tell me to do Endor, maybe like a Kashyyyk or something, but
Yeah.
I'm just kind of tired of building with green bricks.
Oh, okay. Well, there's that too.
Because yeah, it's all I've been looking at, and then I've got another thing to show you guys.
I was gonna say we can always hope that the Mandalorian goes to a green planet, and then you could be like, "There's one." Do a Mandalorian mock.
This right here is about, I think, 4,500 grass pieces. These grass pieces.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm also trying to find another use for these. I thought about like putting them together to make fir trees and Endor. But
Or yeah, what's that? Yavin 4?
yeah, Yavin 4. I thought about doing that one. I'm a big Clone Wars guy. I love Clone Wars, so I'm trying to figure out something to do in the Clone Wars era with all this green.
Well, hopefully you should try to make something out of one of the new episodes.
Yeah, that's I've been really excited to see what they are going to do with like the whole Siege of Mandalore stuff. See if there'd be anything cool there.
So far, the clone is it going to be like 22 episodes, or is it going to be like 12 episodes or some?
Unfortunately it's going to be 12.
Yeah, God, I hate that.
Yeah, Disney. I don't know. Like, just the new Clone Wars episodes are just so short too. They're like, I swear one of them was like 16 minutes.
Yeah, they seem really short, and they're just kind of like, okay, you're really dragging this storyline on. I feel like the end of last season covered this.
Yeah, I agree. I was excited to get more stuff, but yeah, they're only doing 3 episodes, or I think they're doing 4 episodes for each arc, and they're doing 3 arcs. They're doing a Bad Batch arc, Ahsoka arc, and then the Siege of Mandalore arc.
And then they're going to end it.
Yeah, and then I think the Siege of Mandalore, apparently, this is just what I've heard, like rumor and speculation wise. Apparently, the Siege of Mandalore is going to lead into Order 66.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it does.
Yeah, they're just going to jump right into episode 3 from that point, I guess.
Well, kind of like how the original Clone War animated cartoon thingy, it ended with the battle at over Coruscant and began the Revenge of the Sith, the final movie. The cartoon right into it. So it was just
I heard it's going to be leading right up to that, Doc.
Yeah, I hope so. That'll be cool. I mean, because they did the same thing with that Rogue One, and then it leads right into A New Hope, and so I like that when they do that. So this way, there can't be nobody can go, hey, we can add another season. No, you can't.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could run something that was parallel at that point. Say, okay, this takes place during the movie that you didn't see because it's with characters that wandered off and did whatever. Because everything, I think that's what everybody loved about the Mandalorian. It wasn't about it wasn't about saving the galaxy. It was about saving this little child and the redemption of one man. So it was it was a smaller story, and so it was that's why people loved it. I think more so than they loved the Last Jedi, or because it was just the Last Jedi was just so much. I had to watch it twice in order to be able to go, okay, now I understand what happened. Completely what I saw. Because before it was there was no time to think about one action sequence after the next action sequence until it was over.
That film was relentless, I'll give you that.
Yeah, and it was so long too. It's just kind of like, what? There's more?
There's another battle?
It's like, did we? Okay, all right. We didn't apparently. All right. But they had to give fan service to all the new characters and then fan service to whatever old characters were left, so that's what made the movie too big. That's why I was always said, it's like when they started The Force Awakens and everything, none of the characters from the original trilogy should have been in it at all. It should have just been, here's some new characters, here's a new trilogy, let's go. And I think they could have done a lot more with it too, without having the restraint of, now we got to, figure out what Han Solo's going to do, and we got to figure out, what these whatevers, instead of just creating a new story and going, here, it's a new trilogy, a new hero,
Yeah.
a new challenge for the light side against the dark side, kind of a deal.
And apparently they're saying that, I wonder what you feel about this, Coconut, but they're saying that, what's his name? Palpatine was actually a clone.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. The whole Palpatine thing was interesting. I'm not one of those people. I know some people really hated it. I thought it was kind of cool because I really liked Palpatine, but just the whole way they brought him back and then killed him was just, I don't know. It was kind of a disgrace to like how epic Palpatine was.
Yeah, and there should have been hints in the first movie.
Yeah, like he came out of nowhere, was suddenly in charge of everything. Like Snoke was just a puppet of him. I think a clone, maybe. It's still a little unclear to me, like what exactly was going on there. And then Rey just up and kills him like he's nothing.
Yeah.
Well, she died and came back and then killed him.
That's true.
It's
a little hazy right there.
Like it was an epic struggle for her. It wasn't just handed to her, but I mean, technically it was, but it made it a little of a struggle.
Yeah, it was quite convenient, that wasn't it?
Yeah. But it fed the nostalgia that they wanted to feed. So it was just kind of like, look, there he is, same actor and everything.
I personally would have liked to have seen them all together, the original crew, but they just never had that scene.
Yeah, well, what Lucas should have done, instead of doing the sequels, he should have done these 3 movies. That way, he could have had those 3 the Skywalker and Princess Leia and Han Solo. They all would have been young enough to still do some action or whatever, kind of a thing. And then, especially because, the sequels are always the prequels were always going to have different actors in them playing younger roles of whatever, So they should have done it when they had the real opportunity to do something with those actors, instead of doing wasting all of his whatever on the sequels, this, super contrived story. And then, then we got stuck with what we got stuck with for the finale of the trilogy when he should have finished it. Because he, had momentum and could have, carried the story forward more that way. But I also think it would have been more of a, I don't know, because Return of the Jedi became a catalog, for selling toys and merchandise after the fact. And so, I don't know, it might have been better that he did what he did, but who knows? When we got what we got, they're all fine. None of them suck horribly enough that I'm like, I will not watch that Star Wars film. I have my favorites. I have the ones that I don't like as much, but they all have their merit. They all fit into the Star Wars universe enough that there's nothing to rage about as far as I'm concerned. It's just kind of like, yeah, I didn't write the story, so I can't be mad.
Yeah.
They're not. I don't own the characters, so whatever outcome happens is whatever. I'm just on along for the ride. As long as you entertain me, fine. Twist and turn however you might. Exploit my expectations or whatever you want to call it. Go right ahead.
Chuck a brick saying should have been more realistic. It's like with Luke sitting in a lounge chair with a beer cup eating Cheetos in the restaurant.
Reminded me of Fat Thor. I love that.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Fat Thor was good.
He was the best part of that movie. It was just like, no way, they didn't do it. Yeah, they did.
He was fun.
And he stayed fat too. It wasn't like, oh, he's gonna get thin, pretty like some magical cure. It's like, no, it's Fat Thor the whole movie. It was just like, yeah. And that the new Thor, he better still be fat.
So what's the new Thor then? Is that going to be?
That's where they're going to introduce the
Galactus. Is there going to be Galactus in that?
But they don't know. The people are saying that Galactus might end up being the big bad for like an end game kind of a thing after we do, Black Panther 2 and Eternals and blah blah blah. Because that way we can, go into space with the Guardians for Guardians 3. Eternals 1 will, cap that, and then we can have, Galactus's heralds be the bad guys that they face in all of these, these movies that lead up to the, Avengers, whatever, because they're going to be an Avengers movie. And so when they bring all the heroes together for the next Avengers, then they can face Galactus and that kind of a thing. But they're still going to try to bring in I'm hoping, because they got the rights to the Fantastic Four, because they're going to do Galactus, you have to do the Fantastic Four. because it's not going to make much sense to real Marvel fans, because it's like that's their enemy.
Yeah.
It's not, they call for the Avengers to help them when Galactus shows up, but it's their bad guy.
But Galactus was in one of the movies, wasn't he? But it was that slightly different universe.
No, he was the giant. He was a giant cloud that was coming to eat the Earth in the Fantastic Four versus the Silver Surfer. It's like they hadn't learned the lesson that Green Lantern taught them, that hey, the main bad guy's a cloud. It's like nobody's gonna care. And so when Galactus turned out to be a cloud in the Fantastic Four movie, it was just kind of like, really a giant cloud that can kind of morph into a face. I mean, that's, I think, pretty much why they turned Ego, the living planet, into a person.
Yeah,
had the planet as a representation, because in the comic books it might work because it's a different genre. In the movies it's just going to be, oh look, they're standing on it just wouldn't work. The scale, people to the planet scale, just not gonna, just kind of like,
Do you think that was another reference, though, for Star Trek the Motion Picture, where they just have a cloud as the main enemy?
Exactly, the first one. That's why that movie, everybody was just kind of like, really? Well, and then the other part that killed Star Trek the Motion Picture is it took 20 minutes of actual screen time to fly into the cloud. It's like you're sitting there watching different, oh, look, and then crazy light images, and it's just like, oh, can we just get to it, please?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I quite like Star Trek the Motion Picture. I like its music.
Yeah, there's great music and there's great moments, but like I said, there are too many visuals that drag the movie out because they were trying for a 2001 kind of effect.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, definitely was.
But yeah, edited down. There's a director's cut.
Yeah, that's much better.
They cuts. I mean, a lot of that's still in there, but it's used differently, and there's bits of the crew that got dropped to the cutting room floor or whatever that's interspersed into it. So it's not just a bunch of, you're looking at clouds for 15 minutes straight. You get their crew reactions, and you get different angles of it from the bridge, kind of a thing, instead of just through the viewer.
Yeah, because you had like Sulu for about a couple of hours going.
Yeah. And the rest of the crew going, ooh, and yeah. Kirk walking around his chair, staring at it all.
Oh, well, look, I think that's probably maybe a good place to finish our stream. First off, I'd like to thank everyone in the chat tonight. Trick or Brick, thank you for being so, how can I put it, animated in the chat. It was really good, mate. You threw a lot of good stuff out there. That was good. Thank you as well for Brick Vibe for joining us in the chat. Brick Trooper, thanks for being there. Trapjaw, and everyone else that was in there earlier on, like Deppy, who joined us. That was really good of you to come in, guys. I'd also like to thank Titanium J52, and Doc, and of course anyone who's out there. Please do like and subscribe to London Bridge Bricks, and also please do subscribe and check out their Instagrams and Twitters for Titanium Coconut and Doc as well. They're very entertaining. They do some great stuff. I'd also like to thank actually Moto for coming in, because he's so technical. He's brilliant. His stuff is brilliant. And Lego Lemaniac as well, who was in the chat as well earlier on. He does some really good stuff. Do check out his YouTube channel. He's a master of puzzles and trickery and stuff like that. And all I'd like to say to everyone, thank you as well, Trapjaw. You're most welcome, and you too, Trick or Brick. All I'd like to say to everybody is, in this day and age where we're all at the moment and everything like that, just keep calm, keep safe, especially keep clean, and keep building. All the best, and take care, everyone. Good night.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.